Hey guys, and welcome back to the Shinhan Tank Pro League. It was meant to be on yesterday, but something came up, so I had to delay it till today, so hopefully nobody minds. And today we've got a couple of really cool matches coming up for you once again. Starting us off will be pSi versus SK Alpha, and following up that one will be... Oh, how do I always forget this? I was literally just looking at it. iRk versus NaS, so that should be good as well. NaS had a bye last week, I believe, so we didn't see them. We did see iRk very early in the week, so gonna see them again, see how they're getting on. And I believe they're actually at the top of the table at the moment, so it should be pretty cool to see how they're doing and how they do in week 3. This is the start of week 3 now, so 3 whole weeks of STPL so far. Week 4 was played on Sunday, and we are slowly getting our way through the first round, nearly the end of the first round in 3 weeks actually, so kind of cool, making it there, which is really good. And let's have a look at what maps we are going to be seeing today, and they are some pretty cool ones. We're going to see the introduction of a certain map into the SCPL. It's not been shown off so far, or played so far, and here we go, let's have a look. So we're going to start off on Gladiator. We're going to move on to Polaris Rhapsody, which makes its debut in the SCPL. It is in fact a 2-player map. If you haven't seen it before, it's a really, really cool map. Got a few cool map features that I'll try and go into a little bit. You've got Grand Line as the 3rd map, Neo Moonglaive as the 4th map, and finally we will be finishing off on Judgment Day. Now, unfortunately, there is one thing about today's match. It's going to be between Storm and SK Alpha. There is one bit of bad news that I have for this matchup. Basically, SK Alpha couldn't field Bontel or Bonith on the day, and Psi didn't want to take any substitutes at that point because they've been waiting a while, and SK Alpha didn't have anyone to replace them with. So the first games will not be happening, I do regret to say. But we could have 2 to 3 games afterwards. I won't reveal the results of the first 2 games, although I guess I kind of did already. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if SK Alpha can actually find their way back from a 2-0 deficit. That's going to be the start of the series. What I'm going to do is, when I'm showing the intro vid next, I'll basically set the score to 2-0, and we can get going from that point. But so if we have a look at the table so far, it's not in perfect order. Thank you very much for the host, Rota. Very, very well appreciated. It's not fully in order, but as you can see, we do have a lot of teams doing pretty well so far. iRk and SK Alpha winning both of their first games. DM, White, Red, I believe that's the one, so I need to sort out the ordering. I don't know what's wrong with this, but basically few teams have won their first game, a few of them lost their first game or won the second. Whatever, pretty cool so far. iRk and SK Alpha showing a very, very strong showing so far. iRk obviously beating arguably what's supposed to be the best team in the league in week 1, so that was a very, very exciting match. Let's have a look at the teams we've got today. It is, as I said, going to be Storm versus SK Alpha. Apparently, the round stats haven't recorded for them, but Storm have played before. They actually played against Team Liquid the other day. That was on Friday, I believe I casted that. And TL did win out in the end, so that's going to be a 1 loss for them. They only played 1 week because they were on a walkover week 1, a bye week 1, sorry. But still, should be pretty cool. Let's actually quickly bring up the intro once again and head on over to the first replay, and let's get this started, or at least let's have a look at who's going to be playing the first game. See you guys shortly. Okay, what we're actually going to do is, just while I quickly report the walkover games and load up the replay, I'm just very quickly going to show my face for a bit. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful week so far. I've had a bit of a culture shock because I've gone from being off work over the weekend, or over last week, to going back to work, and that was that was fun, let me tell you that. It's hard to go back to work after a week off. I very rarely actually take the whole week off for that reason, but last week I really needed a break, and you know what? I got a free day off because it was the bank holiday, so I made use of it. That was okay to do, but still, it's not been too bad back at work. It's just something I would rather have rather have been able to put off a little bit more, a little bit longer. But let me just quickly update this. So they started off on Gladiator. I'm basically just going to quickly report it as if they were played, and then we can go with a fresh overlay for the third game in the series, so that would be pretty cool. Actually, just report this. The next game would have been on Polaris, so unfortunately we're not going to get to see Polaris in this set, but we will see it in the next one. So all is not lost. Actually, just need to have a look at who the second game was. It was Marine versus Bonneth. Unfortunately, Bonneth, you may not have heard, but he's playing another game at the moment, and also he's been very busy with work and school, so he's not actually doing a very good job of appearing for his games at the moment. Hopefully, SK Alpha are going to find someone else to replace him. I know they have moved Magician up into SK Alpha from SK Bravo. Caused a little bit of a fuss, because obviously if people just randomly swap teams, it makes it a little bit awkward to manage everything. But I've told 619 to basically keep it to a minimum, and hopefully it should lead to less walkovers overall, which is good, because the last thing you want when you want to sit down and watch something is to tune in and find out that the two other players have been walked over. But we are ready now with the actual up-to-date overlay. The first, well, you're going to see what the first map's going to be in a minute. I just need to generate one more bit, and then we're good to go. So I always take ages doing this bit, and I feel really stupid about it. It's really easy for me to set up, but it's just picking colors. Like, I don't know why. My brain, like, fails picking colors, and I can't figure out why. But you know what? That's all generated now, so let's actually just, let's just head on into the correct overlay. We can have a look at who is going to be playing first and what the map is going to be. So here we go. As I said, we're going to be starting with a 2-0 lead to pSi Storm, but we are going to have, as the first match here, Cold versus DeWalt. Now, DeWalt, a very strong Protoss player at the moment, arguably one of the better foreign players in general right now. So this is going to be a very, very uphill battle for our Zerg here. DeWalt winning both of his games so far, Cold winning his game as well last week, so both of them doing really, really well. Be interested to see how they face off against each other, and how this game's going to play out on Grand Line SE. Now, Grand Line SE is a very, very cool 4-player map. There is this kind of, you can't see my mouse, but basically I'm pointing. There's this big, like, high ground pod in the middle with 6 ramps going up it, 2 small, so that's 8 ramps. 2 small at the top and bottom, 2 small, and then 4 big in the middle. Really cool. You can build in some of that high ground. It is going to be a PvZ here, so I don't think we'll see that too much, but you never know what's going to happen with Brood War. Brood War games are very, very cool. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool here. So let's actually head on into the first game, and let's get going, guys. Okay, I just need to swap the overlay over, and we should be good to go. Hopefully that's all showing up properly. Looks like my Brood War isn't showing, so I'm just going to pause the replay just very quickly, just until Brood War decides, you know what, I want to show myself. There we go. We're all ready. So as I said, we are starting off in set 3. It looks like my colours have gone a bit messy because of my green screen. Just quickly, I'm just going to see if I can change the settings of this, just so we keep... okay, I don't think that's actually going to work. You know what? Green and teal are the enemy of my overlay. There's absolutely nothing I can do about that. Looks like teal is kind of appearing now, so let's keep it at that. But cold is going to be green, but let's actually get started. And yeah, there was 2 walkovers, unfortunately, Rota. Basically, SKA couldn't, their players didn't turn up in time, and pSi didn't want to wait, but I've asked them to be a little bit more lenient in future, just so we don't get as many walkovers. It kind of does ruin the feel of especially casting, because I'm always looking forward to casting lots of good games, and then I find out that I have to tell people there's 2 walkovers, and that's kind of bad, but you know what, it's not too bad. Starting us off in the top right position, 2 o'clock, we do have the Green Zerg fighting for pSi. It's going to be cold. And spawning down here in the bottom right position, we do have his opponent fighting from a 2-0 deficit already. It's going to be SK's DeWalt. Now, as I said, this is going to be a very, very interesting game here because DeWalt has his work cut out for him. This is a very, very important game. If he does not win this game, pSi will win the series based on the fact two of his teammates didn't show up for their games, unfortunately. But I know DeWalt is a very, very strong player, and he is going to be putting his complete and utter effort into this to make sure everything goes smoothly. And I just want to double check something, guys. Can you actually hear the game audio, like the sound effects and the music? Because when I was trying to check the highlights, it felt like the music wasn't very loud, but I don't know what the audio levels are like, so I thought while it's quiet, maybe we could check that just to make sure. But of course, you do have the Overlord scouting in the correct direction. And we're gonna... Oh, thank you very much.
I like your style, friend.
It's very light. Okay, that's good. Okay, so as I was thinking, we do have a Forge Fast Expand coming up for DeWalt. Looks like we won't have the Cannon Rush. It's possible we may see it, though. There is a 12 hatch going down, and this drone looking to maybe go get that 3rd hatch very, very quickly. And this could be a very, very dangerous position to go for a 3rd hatch in this case. But no, it looks like he will, in fact, go for a drone scout. He's going to have to turn that around relatively quickly if he doesn't want to be wasting a lot of mining time. But here we go, Paul is coming up. This could, of course, be going to the other natural to expand. He will now, though, see where DeWalt is, and it'll be interesting to see what he does with his drone here. There we go, looks like it's going to be pulled back straight away. And pretty cool. So, looks like the probe going to be running around the base, not really going to be able to see too much. A lot of drones actually transferred a little bit too early, strangely enough. I'm not sure if he thought there was a cannon rush happening or something. But because he had no Overlord there, he couldn't really see. All he did actually see was the Forge going up and the Nexus. So, I mean, that could have been a cannon rush. That would have been really cool. You know what would be amazing? If DeWalt just built a pylon up there and a cannon and just started canning the main. But it's a bit too late for that to happen. But then again, when you look at the Duma build that hit Cadenzi in one of the TL Opens, anything is possible in Foreign Brood War. I will stand by that for the rest of the time I continue casting, which will hopefully be a very, very, very long time. But let me just quickly see if I can change the properties slightly, just to see if that makes any difference. I want to see if I can make it just a little bit louder, not too much, because I know that will make the quality really bad, but hopefully this will be a little bit better. That's a little bit louder, but maybe not loud enough. Probably it's really weird if I have it loud on my end, like this is really loud for me, but on the stream it's really quiet. But here we go, Lings are out. They're going to be chasing around that probe, trying to do what they can. Hopefully that's a little bit louder for you on stream now, guys. We have the 3rd hatchery coming up as expected from the Zerg player. Interestingly, going for that middle only could head towards like a sort of very early aggressive play from the Zerg player here with his Hydralisks. This is a pretty good map to bust into the ramp. There's a big concave that you can make against the wall, although there is a lot of space on this map to build a lot of cannons. And one of the better maps, I think, for Protoss to really turtle on their 2 base on. Of course, they will need to eventually expand as well, but it looks like the probe will get picked off. A little bit of miscontrol by DeWalt there. Is he going to send another one? Yes, he is. Hallmark of a good Protoss player. I saw a cool best VOD today where he did immediately this. Like, as soon as he knew his probe was going to die, he tried to send it, or Best actually got the probe out, but he sent another probe immediately. The important reason behind this is what you do is when the probe is still alive in the main, you can do this with SCV or drone as well. Drones aren't normally going to be sent out like that, but if you right click on the minerals, looks like maybe he didn't do that, but you can actually slide through any links on the ramp. A really important trick to use as a Protoss player, just to get as much scouting as you possibly can, because the probe is not going to be able to get past here unless there's a little bit of miss micro by Cold. And Cadenza does play Zerg, but not in this game. She does play Zerg normally, but she is not around right now, but as you can see, pretty standard back here for DeWalt. He does scout the very quick third base at the other base. We'll see an extra hatchery going up as well. That's going to be 5 hatcheries for the Zerg player. Will we see 6? Currently, there is no Hydralisk Den coming up either, so it's going to be a little bit harder for Cole to be super aggressive here, but it's not off of the table completely. Judging by the fact he is going for 2 gas right away, though, I get the feeling we are going to see a lair coming up fairly shortly after Ling Speed. I mean, it could very well be some kind of Ling all-in, but I would highly doubt it at this point. Not really too much to gather. Other than that, though, DeWalt back at home, playing very standard. Adding on his pylon, he'll be adding a Stargate here with his probe, and there we go. And we do have a Robo coming up, so not exactly standard. This is going to please Rota quite a lot. It's Corsair Reaver coming up now for DeWalt. Very, very cool style. Pretty good on this map because there is an island base that the Protoss can take with their early shuttle, and shuttle speed on the way immediately there. Through there, and oh man, if you take a drink every time I say cool, you will be literally dead. But here we go, the probe going over to take that island base. Very, very strong build for Zerg to make on that map. Or on this map even, we are going to see the Hydralisk Den. It's going to be Hydra Speed and Lair at the same time. But here we go, we have a trio of Zealots actually going to get into the third base here. Looks like Cold isn't too worried. He's not actually going to send anything to defend. We do have some units moving over, but the drones pulled immediately, and this is a lot of lost mining time. And this is going to be very, very good for DeWalt, who is going to get his third gas base incredibly quickly here. But can he get some drones at least, or is he going to lose them? He gets one drone. Can he at least get another one? Second does go down. Third goes down as well. Really nice micro there to get them to the point where he can just one-shot them. And this is such a good position for this Zealot to hold, and his buddy is going to go there as well, and these Lings are going to find it very, very difficult to break through here. It looks like this second Zealot not going to be too lucky, but as you can see, the first Reaver is out and in the shuttle. The Nexus should be going up as soon as DeWalt has enough money for it. So he's going to have some fun here, but this could be a lot of damage. Let's see exactly how much damage this Reaver can do. 1 drone for 1 Scarab, not a bad trade. And this could be a good Scarab. 3 drones, 5 drones overall now, and he is going to be able to pick up and get out of there, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Unfortunately, the Scarab did bug on the gas, but it looks like we are going to have a counterattack here coming in for Cold. He is supply blocked now. His first Overlord did go down, but there is too much defense here for DeWalt. This counterattack shouldn't do too much. And one of the benefits of going Ser Reaver is you do have an insane defensive posture. How are you going to break Reavers in this position? Storm, energy runs out. Scarabs, as long as the Reavers stay alive, the units will not die whatsoever. But here we go, the Reaver coming back in. 6 kills on the Reaver, going to be 8 kills now. 9 kills and 2 lava. That's huge early game to get that lava. That's going to be 2 less units, 2 less drones for the Zerg player. And here we go, another drone going now. Really, really nice shuttle micro by DeWalt here, keeping it alive, not even losing any hull damage. And he is going to feel pretty good about this. But here we go, he's going into the third base. Is he going to drop? Yes, he is. And he gets another Hydralisk for his troubles. Gonna get another one here as well. The Reaver still on high health. And this could be a lot of drone kills here. Looks like we're going to have some Hydralisks coming in from behind. He's going to have to pick up, but this could be another big Scarab. Another drone goes down. And here we go. He's back in the main. Can he drop down? Looks like he's going to have to run away. But there is so many units killed by this one Reaver. Really, really nicely played by DeWalt, and he has 2 Reavers back at home. This is not all in, this is not crazy. He's going up to 3 bases. We could even see, if he really wanted to, him take the other island as well, and it's going to be a very long time before we actually see a Spire come in play from the Zerg, as he is going Evolution Chamber upgrades, and he is going to be relying heavily on these Hydras for the time being. But here we go, the Reaver's coming back in. How much damage can this Scarab do? It looks like it bugs out a little bit, but does get another 2 drones, and the shuttle is still on shield, still on full health. And here we go, a couple of cannons coming up here to defend against this. But I believe this is going to be the moment we're going to see DeWalt shuttle over some probes. Back home, he's adding on his Templar Archives, he has his Citadel, and he is going to start spamming in those gateways, wants to make sure he has enough. Looks like Cold is going to do what he can to actually scout around, still doesn't actually have link speed though. And if this is going to be a Hydralisk all-in, it is heavily, heavily delayed at this point. And it's going to be very hard to break DeWalt right now, so this could be a very, very strategical error coming up by our Zerg player. Looks like he is going to try and scout around for a hidden base. Little does he know, DeWalt has the island. It's going to be a while before he can mine here efficiently. He's going to have to shuttle some probes over, as you can see. But that is going to be pretty good for him anyway. As I said, it's going to be quite difficult for the Zerg player to really deal with this. He should be able to get drop overlords at some point. Looks like he is going to go overlord speed first. Which does make sense given the fact that there are... Wait, I think this is overlord speed. It's either drop or overlord speed, but usually you would get speed first because you need to worry about the Corsairs. But one thing that DeWalt has done this game, which is very, very sensible, is he only actually built 1 Corsair. Oh wait, no he didn't, he built 3. But either way, he's not constantly producing them. He knows the Zerg isn't going to be having a lot of air units at the moment. We'll know there's no Spire, just based on all of the scouting that he's done. And it looks like the Corsair's going to run around, just make sure there's no Overlords. Easy for the picking at the natural. They're going to go into Scout, actually. And this could be quite dangerous. These are going to be quite low by the time they get over the Zerg base. But Cold is just stuck in his bases right now. He cannot move out. He is too scared of the Reaver drops in the back. And he can't even really do anything with drops due to the fact that Corsairs are in the game. Of course, he does have pretty good scouting on all the other bases that the Protoss player most likely would have taken. But he's not going to see all the important things. +1 damage is done. No carapace upgrade for the Zerg yet. There is not even +1 attack done on his Hydra. This looks like it's about 3/4 done. And looks like we're going to go into a little bit of a lull. It's going to be a while before DeWalt really wants to go in with his Reavers again. He may actually wait until there's a big engagement. This may be a very, very important decision because there is a lot of Hydralisks moving across the map. There's not that many cannons, only 4 cannons. There could be some storms though, and this could be pretty big. And there's the first storm. There's the second storm. But really nice snipes on the High Templar. But is it going to be enough? There's still 4 Reavers in these shuttles. And there's still a good sizable ground army here for DeWalt, who's going to be pushing up against the Hydralisk now, and it looks like he's going to retreat slightly, but here's a lovely Scarab coming up for the Reavers. This is going to be such a one-sided engagement. 1 Reaver does go down though, doesn't save 2 of them, that's big. 3 of the Reavers have gone down. Looks like one of them was picked up in the end, yes it was, but still, that was a really, really nice trade for our Zerg player, who finds himself getting closer and closer in supply to DeWalt. And Cold is going to be feeling pretty good against that engagement. That could have been so, so much worse. DeWalt unfortunately not having perfect Reaver shuttle micro there, but still good enough to at least do a decent amount of damage. And here we go, it looks like he's going to go in for some more harassment, but this shuttle is going to run into the danger zone. Here it goes, it's trying to fly in. Will it get pulled away? It doesn't get pulled away, he's flying into the main with it. The Zealots have been dropped. The Reaver is dropped on the ramp as well, and how big is the Scarab going to be? Looks like it's going to dud on the Hydralisks and the ramp, but here we go, the shuttle going in again. 1 Scarab goes down, killing 3 drones, but the shuttle is going to go down as well. And was that really worth it? 2 Zealots and a Reaver with the shuttle for just 3 drones. I don't think it is, and the longer this goes on with Cold getting very, very nice engagements like this, the better it's going to be for him. Of course, DeWalt has this 3rd gas base. That is very, very huge in PvZ. But Cold is slowly going to be able to start taking over the map. Looks like we did have a pause and an unpause. We don't obviously see that because it is replays. But Zerg is definitely in a good position right now. After that especially, it looks like we're actually going to have another drop coming into the pretty well defended natural. But the Hydralisks have moved to the very back here. Looks like we do have +1. Is he going to hide? Here we go. Storm. He gets a Storm, but it's not a great Storm there. But does still get 4 drones at least, I believe. And Zealots once again moving in, trying to do as much damage as they can. But this Sunken Colony, worth its weight in gold. Can this actually get one of the Hydras? No, it cannot. And once again, Cold is just taking over the entire map right now. DeWalt is moving into a more standard late game PvZ comp. He is going into Dragoon, Archon, Zealot. Sorry, Dragoon, Templar, Zealot. May see some Archons coming in here soon. He will have a little bit of excess gas. There isn't that many minerals at the other base. Now, not really too sure on how many gateways he has based on the minimap. I think he's on about 9. I'm going to count in just a second. Let's actually just quickly count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 gateways with the one in the natural as well. But here we go. Looks like we're actually going to have DeWalt with his 2-1 upgrades. Going to be going for a timing here. Can he get in? Looks like we do have some very, very well clumped Hydralisks. And this could be a big storm location. But no, there is observers here as well. Nice storm does go down on the Hydralisk. There is units on both sides getting destroyed here. Really, really nice storms though. And not very good splits. Another load of Overlords do go down. And there's just so much damage here from the Protoss player. The Reaver's in the back. Scarab's getting stuck on the units, but I don't think it matters anyway. There's just so many Zerg units going down, and he's right by the Zerg production. And he has morphing a lot of Archons right now. Ling Flood will not do anything against this. And even though Cold will be able to set up a flank, this is such a huge battle for DeWalt to be able to win. He's in the natural of the Zerg player with 2 Reavers. They're shooting the Hydralisks as they leave the rally point. And such huge damage going down. DeWalt with an amazing engagement right now. There's actually engagement at the top side as well. Archons taking on Hydralisks. Reavers in the bottom as well. And this is just far too much damage for DeWalt. He's 100 supply ahead nearly. And such a great clinical approach to this matchup by DeWalt as he moves in after constant harassment and just goes in with the Death Army. This is going to be too much for DeWalt to handle, or for Cold to handle, I believe. Cold is trying to hold on, he's trying to re-macro, but how on earth is he getting an army that can deal with this? I am not sure. And GG, Cold is going to lose the first game. Wait, was I really on faster? Oh man, I was as well. I can't, why did, wait. Oh man. Oh, it was on faster again, whoops. How am I not noticing this? Like, you would think it would be obvious. But you know what? It could be worse. That was a really, really nicely executed game there by DeWalt. He did just completely obliterate Cold's army with some great usage of his AoE. And that's actually going to take us to the 4th map, which is going to be Neo Moonglaive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly report the game, just make sure that's all reported. Of course, DeWalt did win that, and we are going to go on to the 4th game. So let me just quickly do that. Let's actually just get ready with the next game. We are going to be moving on to, let's just double check. It's going to be Office of War versus Terror. So it's actually going to be a TVP, I believe. No, a TVZ. So that should be pretty fun. And that's going to be on Neo Moonglaive, of course. So if I just quickly load up the next replay, quickly show the intro again while that happens, and we should be good to go with the next one. I'll make sure... Am I pressing D in replays? I guess I must be. Does it not default to that? I'm going to blame the default, you know. That's the best way I can do. But you know what? Let's bring up the intro again as we get ready for Game 4. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And I know that just froze for a little bit. You know what? I'm going to make sure I don't actually load up the replays while it's doing this. But just going to set up the colours and the side bits, and then we can go from there. So, yeah, apparently if I load up the replays while that's going on, it really messes with everything for some reason. Hopefully that's not playing again. Nope, perfect, I timed that out pretty well. But here we go, let's actually head on over to the overlay. Let's have a look at what maps what players are going to be playing. It's going to be Officer Foire and Terra, so it's going to be up to Terra. Yeah, it's going to be Terra. He is going to be up against Officer Foire. Should be a pretty cool game. Terra has done really well so far. Officer Foire, unfortunately, didn't fare as well in his first game, so that was a bit unfortunate for him. But it should be a good TVZ nonetheless, and it's going to be on Neo Moonglaive. Now, Neo Moonglaive, a very, very fun map. I'm not going to say cool, although I just did. And TL staff did. Sorry, I need to announce that. I'll do that after this. But here we go. It looks like we are going to go into a TVZ here. Now, so far across my tournaments, TVZ's been pretty balanced here, so it should be interesting to see what styles both players go for and how this is going to play out. Now, Terra, I've not seen as much of his TVZ as I have his TVP, so it should be interesting to see if he can bring this to the ace match, or if Officer Foire is going to close this off 3-1 for pSi. Okay, so oh my god, that scared the hell out of me. I've left myself muted far too much. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Let's head on over to the next game, and let's get going. Now, I am allowed to catch my breath, Hermu. Like, don't hate me. But here we go. Let's go into the game, and let's get started with Game 4. You know what it is? I think I know what my problem is. Basically, I keep pressing Alt-D to get rid of the production tab, but that doesn't do that. That's something else. But here we go. As I said before, we are going to have Terra versus Officer of War, and starting us off here on Neo Moonglaive in the 9 o'clock position, it is Terra, fighting his way back for SK Alpha. And his opponent spawning up in the top right, top middle position even, on Neo Moonglaive, we do have the purple Zerg. It's going to be Officer Foire. I still keep going to call him Officer of War, but it just isn't his name. It makes it really, really confusing for me. But here we go. Looks like Officer of War, or Officer Foire, gonna send out a very, very quick drone scout. Wants to make sure he does find his opponent as soon as possible, to make sure there isn't an 8 racks or anything coming for him. I can only imagine this is going to lead to a 12 hatchery. There's no, of course, there is actually no pull on the way, and there is an Overlord on the way now as well, as we just saw. Terra looks like he isn't going to go 8 racks either. He's going to add his first depot. Now, out of all the tournaments I've seen, I would argue that Terra, possibly the strongest of the two players. I've not really seen Officer Foire play too much, but I would like to be proven otherwise. So I would believe Terra would be leading into this matchup a little bit more confident. He is one of the best foreign Terrans, one of the best foreigners in Peru right now, so should be feeling pretty good about himself. We do have the pool coming up. It's actually going to be an 11 pool with a 11 gas as well, so we're not going to see a 12 hatch. It's not the most aggressive opening that a Zerg player can do, obviously, early game, but he's going to build that pool just because he hasn't got the scout off yet. Of course, the Overlord does take a long time to get over there, and he's just going to be doing a little bit of drone micro when he can, just to see if he can try and delay this barracks just a little bit. He will finally get to see where his opponent is and what's going on, so he is going to be feeling pretty good. Now, the important thing is here, Terra has gone for his gas, likely going to see a 1-1-1 from here, but it wouldn't surprise me if we did see 2-port Wraith coming up from Terra. I know he has played that style before, and it is a style that good Terrans can actually use against their opponents. Now, Officer Foire doing something incredibly interesting here, and this is going to tip off Terra to something strange going on in the main, because there is actually 2 drones blocking the ramp. Terra hasn't actually realized this. He's still trying to scout in, but there we go. Gonna see them now. And that is going to tip him off to that there is something funny going on. He is getting his factory. This should be up in time, but there should be some lings on the way very shortly, and there is speed on the way. So this is actually going to be pretty good for Officer Foire here, if he does manage to get in before this first Vulture's out. But I almost get the feeling he's waiting a little bit too long for this. He is going to go for the expansion hatchery, as we do see here, still leaving his 2 drones on the ramp. A little bit of a mistake in my opinion, just based on mining time lost. But does the SCV get to the top of the ramp? No, it doesn't. The SCV, I must admit, still does not know what's going on. Looks like the drone's going to come out. This is going to be the first moment. Terra is going to see the Lings moving across. Now, speed should be very, very close to done. And how is Terra going to hold on to this? It looks like his first factory's done. Vulture on the way with a starport on the way as well. So with the first Vulture, he should be able to hold this off, but it's going to be quite difficult as the Lings will have speed, and here we go, they're speeding across the map as we speak. The first Vulture should finish in time, but here we go, two SCVs have been pulled. Is this a little bit too late though? The Lings could get in the main, they're actually attacking onto both the Marines are dead. Here we go, it's going to come down to Vulture Micro. Can he hold with this Vulture, or is he going to go down here? This is going to be a very, very difficult situation for Terra to come back from. But the Vulture Micro is strong, it kills a lot of the Lings so far. And with the second Vulture here, this attack is going to be completely thwarted. Now, does Terra repair? Yes, he does. I say this every time, but a very good hallmark of a good Terran player. Does repair his units, makes use of the Tesaki plays. At the top of his ramp there, repairing the Vulture. It looks like he stopped for a little bit. But this Ling all-in is going to have to come to an end for Officer Foire, but it's not over yet. We have a Hydralisk then coming up very, very quickly here. Before Lair as well. Could likely be a if we see a Lair coming up, it could be a Lurker build. Could be a Hydra Bus though. Hydra Bus are very good against 1-1-1. You often skip tanks pretty early on to get the early Wraith, and then you go into sort of Vulture upgrades, which means Hydralisk can do a lot of damage to you early on if you're not prepared for it. Sunken is on the way, that's going to help defend against any possible run-bys, but it looks like we won't actually have that. Terra, a little bit unsure of what's actually out there, is going to be using his Wraith to scout around. He's going to see that there's a Hydralisk den, and this is a very, very important moment in the game, because he'll see the first Hydralisk pop. He'll see that a Lair's coming up at the natural as well, and he is going to know exactly what to prepare for, of course. The Hydralisk Den, very important to get against mech openings as well, so necessarily this isn't for some kind of all-in, it may just be to defend against the Wraith. I know that Cadenti used to do this a lot. It all depends on how many Hydralisk Officer Foire makes, and what's going to go on from here. But here we go, more Lings moving up. They're going to find 3 Vultures though, and they are going to want to turn around immediately. They are all going to go down if he's not careful. But he gets in, he surrounds one of the Vultures, but there's just too much damage here from the Vultures of Terra. The SCVs have been pulled as well, just to make sure he doesn't die. And Officer Foire's aggression has been completely thwarted here. And once again, Terra kept his Wraith alive. Really, really good use of that by him. Lair has finished. Are we going to see Lurker Aspect on the way, or are we going to see a 2-hatch Muir play from here? Either way, Officer Foire is going to be very, very far behind in this game from the very beginning. Terra now getting his expansion up, the bunker up immediately. Terra knows with the Hydralisk Den he does need to go for tanks. He's going to be getting siege mode shortly soon if he hasn't already. And there we go, as you can see, siege mode coming up. The Wraith running away from all the Lings and the few Hydralisks, but I just don't think this is going to be enough. Officer Foire throwing away a lot of units here and not really gaining much benefit from them. And this Wraith is just going to be able to rain, I would say rain hell, but it's so low damage, and it goes down immediately to the Hydralisk, so not going to be raining hell from anywhere. But here we go, no Lurker Aspect has been started yet, because it is going to be a 2-hatchery Spire play. Now this is going to be a very, very low economy game here for Officer Foire. Of course, every 2 Lings could have been a possible drone, and it looks like the Lings are going to try and run in again. They're going to meet 2 tanks, a bunker, and a Vulture, and going to get forced away absolutely immediately. There we go, looks like Terra looking to put on a little bit of aggression of his own. Does manage to sneak out 1 Vulture. Is this going to be enough? There is, of course, a sunken colony here, but there's nothing blocking the ramp. And if he can get past, he doesn't have speed, but he will get into the main, just really, really, really nicely timed by Terra to get that in the main, and there's absolutely no defense here for Officer Foire. As a matter of fact, there's a Hydra, and it's going to kill the Vulture immediately. Looks like Officer Foire just going to try and defend all the routes out of Terra's base for now. Going to look to see if he can cut him off. Terra actually going into an engineering bay, into his science facility, and adding on the turrets. He does know that 2-hatcher Mutalisk is a strong possibility from this, and also he did just scout it as well. So really important for Terra to be able to get that Really important for Terra to get all these turrets up. One of the very easy ways you can lose the game is just actually die to die to a lot of Mutless suddenly flying into your base. The economy isn't too bad right now for Officer Far. He's pretty much got his natural um I've forgotten the word somehow. Saturated, that's the one. I don't even think saturated really works in this context, but it's the word the community uses, so here we go. Saturated. Looks like we are going to see bio from this for Terra. He's not going to go for pure mech like you can see sometimes. Pure mech, pure Goliath play on this map is actually very strong, so kind of interesting that he didn't go for it here, but bio also pretty good as well. Looks like the Mulus will fly in. They're going to try and get in to the side of the turrets, but this is going to be a very, very difficult fight for them to take. They're actually taking a lot of damage from the turrets here. There's going to be an irradiate soon. He's going to try and dive on the vessel, but he's losing a lot of Mulus to do this. I don't think this is worth it. He may even not get the vessel, and this is so much damage for him to take. And Terra keeps the vessel alive, and that is a lot of Mulus loss. That's 5 gas worth of Mulus there. That is a huge loss for him to be taking, and he's going into Hive as well. That cannot be good, and flying the Mulus into the turrets again. Officer Far is not going to be feeling good about this game. He's going to try and get in the back here. He's not really going to be able to do too much. He's trying to scud around, even an irradiate going down, killing both of the Mulus. They're going to delay the Academy for just a little bit, but I'm not sure it matters. That was such a huge loss for him to take. We have no third base on the way from our third player. He's 30 supply behind, which necessarily isn't that bad, but as you can see, there's a lot of Scourge being produced and not really a lot of air coming out for Terra, so other than the vessels, which are going to be well defended by the turrets, yeah, there's not really too much going on for Officer of War. He's going to try and take a third base. Is it really going to be enough? Looks like we do actually have some Hydras coming up, spitting on the Vulture. That Vulture with 13 kills. What a hero. He's going to be able to go back home if he does survive and win a very, very big medal. He's not going to be able to get this drone before he expands, or can he? There's no money. There's no money for Officer Far. He's going to lose the drone. What a huge pick-off by Terra. This is almost the last-ditch attempt by Officer Far to really get anything done in this game. And Terra is just completely counteracting everything that he's doing. Another hatchery even being added into the main base, or the natural there even. We actually have a lurker aspect coming along as well. But Officer Far getting Hive is not going to be feeling good about this game. Terra is going to be able to just build up his army as much as he wants, and then push straight for the Zerg base. Terra with such an insurmountable lead, I might say, in this game. And this Vulture could get another drone. Look at this. Officer Far must be feeling completely terrible right now. 2 drones. That is the heroist Vulture, even though that doesn't make any sense, of the game so far. What a boss. And you know what, I am pretty impressed by Terra's play here. He's playing out the 1-1-1 incredibly well. Looks like we do have some more Mutless coming in with a great Aspire, so they are going to be moving down. One benefit of this map is there is a little bit of positional imbalance. This is a really, really nice place for Guardians to move into. There's no real airspace in the right-hand spawn. So this is going to be pretty good for Officer Far, but he's going to need every unit he can to even just defend. Now Terra with a very nice set of scans, trying to work out where the Zerg army is. But look at how big Terra's army is. How on earth is Officer Far going to be able to deal with this? Looks like we have some Mutless and Lings over the side. Some Lings actually being taken down before the engagement even begins. And if this is a timing, this is most certainly, as Eskia just pointed out, the handbang timing here. One of the vessels does go down though, but this is just so much bio. +1 attack is done. The Mutless and the Lings have gone down, and what on earth is Officer Far got back at home? Another bunch of Lings have gone down. There's no lurkers. Morphing a single Guardian to try and hold on here is not unfortunately going to work. He's even got a drone here trying to take a third base, but I don't think it really is going to matter at all. Looks like he has a couple of Scourge over here that may even get picked off as well. And Terra is going for the kill here. He's moving straight in. He has about 5 tanks here, a large amount of bio. The Guardian gets immediately irradiated. And this is not going to be feeling good for Officer Far. Looks like he will get one of the vessels with his Scourge. There's 3 more remaining though. And this is just too much. Terra, with such outstanding macro in this game, completely obliterating his opponent here, and unfortunately Officer Far Gonna lose this game. GG. And Terra takes the series 2-2. We're gonna head on to the ace match, ladies and gentlemen. So that's a pretty well played game by Terra there. I can't really complain about his play there at all. He defended that really early Ling attack very, very well with his Vulture Micro. And I mean, I can't really say much else on that. There's not really too much else to say other than the fact well played by both players there. And we are going to be heading on to the ace match. And I will just bring up the overlay once again, the intro even. And then we can go into the overlay and we can get this started. Now I'm just going to load up the next replay before I start the intro so it doesn't hang. But really, really well played by both players. Unfortunately, the aggression didn't work in the last game, but it did work in the end for Terra. Let's bring up the overlay, let's bring up the intro, and let's get going with the next game. Whoops. I was just double playing this music. That was a bit of a mistake. But either way, this is some royalty-free rock music because I am too cheap to pay for money, pay for royalties and stuff. I'm too poor. But here we go. Let's actually head on to the overlay. We're going to introduce both the players. It is going to be the ace match, and it is going to be between Marine and DeWalt. Marine, the ace match player. Wait, did it go to an ace match with the last game? I believe it must have done. Marine has actually somehow had 1 win and 2 losses. I think they've only played 1 game. Okay, you know what? I need to fix the stats. But either way, Marine is going to be up here against DeWalt, and he is going to be fighting on Judgment Day. Now, a very, very good map for both races here. PVT been 2-2 overall in tournaments so far that I've run. So pretty good for them. I just realized I didn't report the last game, so I'm just going to head on over back to my scene with my face, just so I can quickly fix that. So we did actually just watch Ottawa versus Terra. I need to just make sure all my stats are fine, because otherwise it's going to look silly. But either way, we've had a few really cool games so far, so hopefully this ace match is not going to disappoint. Marine's a very good Terran player. DeWalt is a very, very good Protoss player, so should be pretty good overall. Now, what was the map we just saw? It was Neo Moonglaive. I'm a complete clown. There we go. Now I can quickly set this back up for the right players. And set it to Judgment Day, and let's get into the replay. I've already got it loaded up, so it shouldn't take too long. And here we go. Let's go into the replay, guys. Okay, hopefully all the overlays are updated. It looks like I didn't do the colors for some reason. Or did that not generate? No, it didn't. Okay, let me just update this quickly. So it's going to be... Okay, that's all up to date now, good. Right, so starting us off in the top right, or bottom right position even, we do have the green Terran playing for pSi in this ace match. It's going to be Marine. Oh, of course, I am a clown. My bad. Rota is completely true. But here we go. I know it wasn't Marine's fault. It wasn't anyone's fault. The replays were fine on their machines, so I don't know what the hell happened. But either way, his opponent, spawning us off in the bottom left position, gonna be the man from Russia. It is the Russian powerhouse, SK DeWalt. I'm fairly certain he's Russian. I hope he's Russian now and I've not made a big mistake. Either way, it's going to be DeWalt in the red as the Protoss. Now kind of interested to see exactly what we're going to see from both players. TVP on this map is very fun, very good for like 10-15. So we could see that. There's a very, very quick gateway actually coming up for DeWalt here. So this could very much well be 10-15. Of course, there is no, as you can see here, there's no easy place for the Terran to wall. There's no high ground or anything like that. So 10-15 gate, very, very good. Looks like we'll have a simulator coming up as well, though. I'm not too sure on 10-15 gate's build order. Ah, DeWalt is from Siberia. Thank you very much, Rota. It really means a lot. For your constant corrections of my mistakes. You know what, that's my favourite thing about casting replays, because I have chat next to me. And if I say something wrong, people point it out and then I can fix it. It's so much better than having like a 2-minute delay and then having to wait to see if you're wrong. It's pretty sucky, but here we go. Gonna have a barracks and a gas coming up for Marine. Nothing too crazy there. Very, very standard opening. Especially on a map such as this. Very difficult to do the 1-Rax FE build on this map. This map is from 2010. I mean, the 1-Rax FE for against Protoss really sort of came into power really on Byzantium or in 2009. Players like Hub Magic did a lot of that. I think it was a lot of the Eastro Terrans did that as well. But it should be pretty cool. Won't really see it on this map. The natural is quite far away from the main, so kind of hard to defend with just one bunker. But not too anything too crazy. Not going to be 10-15 gate. We are going to get goon range on the way. Looks like both players haven't actually scouted where each other are. Looks like they're creating a frog on the map at the moment. A really cool bullfrog logo there with two very long backlight. Wow. How have I never noticed this before? It actually does draw a frog. That's a really cool frog, but either way, looks like both of them going to be finally scouting in the right direction. And that is finally going to allow them to fill a little bit of the frog in. And yeah, Barrack Double. Like, I really like that name. But here we go, looks like the probe going to be denied scouting. Didn't actually see in far enough, and here we go. Looks like the SCV is going to be denied scouting very, very shortly as well. Going to take 2 extra hits. But will die pretty soon. Not really too much. Oh man. The Dragoon's pathing got completely screwed up there on his own buildings. And oh, is the probe going to go in for that assassination? No, it doesn't. The SCV going to get out with its life. They're going to ruin the frog picture now. That's a bit annoying. But you know what? It's not too bad. We actually have a command center coming up to take the 3rd base first. So he's going to be expanding to the mineral only to begin with. Not the best decision. You can actually just take this location with tanks and vultures and then just take the gas base. But it looks like this hero Dragoon will actually get the SCV. 2nd gateway coming up for DeWalt, so it's going to be a little bit of 2-gate power goon action coming in for him. And the Dragoon going to move in, see the first tank. No siege mode on the way yet, unless it just finished. It must have just finished, I believe. Like, not going siege from this position will be absolutely balmy. But here we go, looks like he will actually try and move out. Gonna see if he can actually push the Dragoons back. Now, this is one benefit of going for this base, but of course the wall is going to have the aggression early on. Going to be able to take this natural base with the gas very, very quickly. Looks like the Dragoon's going to be annoying just to attack this barracks that's been laid as a sort of semi-wall, but not really doing too much there. And it looks like he did actually go for late siege mode, and this could hurt him dearly against this build. But here we go, how is his tank micro? It looks like it's good so far. He's going to be able to push the Dragoons back, but DeWalt doing a very good job keeping the lower damage Dragoons to the back there. And here we go, looks like he's going to try and move out with his command center, but this is very, very ballsy to do. He has 1 damage tank and 1 full health tank. Siege mode is not quite finished, and there is going to be a lot of Dragoons heading over to his base. Here we go, 4 Dragoons outside of his natural now. They're going to be able to shoot down this command center. Command center actually forced back, and DeWalt is going to be feeling good about his position in this game, even saving the Dragoon. Very, very important move. Now, I know tank range, people say, is Imber, but it's going to be very, very hard for him to actually defend against his command center being attacked here. Looks like DeWalt, though, playing a little bit more conservative, going to move his units back, going to take this 3rd base incredibly quickly, and that's going to allow him to do a lot of things late game, a lot of macro, going to be able to build a lot of zealots and a lot of gateways. This is a mineral-only base. They're full minerals, so, well, at least they're full minerals as per like a natural rather than the 2000 main. Or some maps have 2000 mains, but here we go. Looks like he's going to try and build a turret, but that did not work out. And did I? Ah no, here we go. So the command center has actually flown on over to the natural. He just built in a bit of a weird place. Would have been better to build it back here, fly it over a little bit quicker. But I guess he wasn't too really sure exactly what was going on. But here we go. Looks like we do have, as I said, the Nexus coming up. We're going to have a pylon wall being constructed here, just making sure that he doesn't do anything and lose anything to vultures. But rather than going for any vultures, it looks like Marine is just going to play incredibly safe. Go for a lot of tanks and probably head up towards that all-important 2-1 push. The first armory is on the way. We're likely going to see a few more factories coming into play very, very shortly as well, with the additional gas being added. And there's currently no vulture upgrades on the way, which you could actually, well, just a second ago you could have actually afforded them. So, interestingly, skipping out on that, just wants to make sure he has enough tanks to not die. Kind of an important skill to have in TVP. Dying is very, very easy in the early game if you sort of misplace your tanks, or I guess it depends on your style. Like, I go for a style which has a lot of vultures early on. I usually stick to 2 tanks, so it does make it a little bit easier to die. But when you are playing this 2-1 style, going for very, very quick amount and a lot of tanks even. Third factory is on the way, and now we finally do see some vultures coming in. It's been a lot of tanks. Now, interestingly, Marine hasn't chosen to go for an academy yet. He's going to be relying on a turret ring, which is a little bit wasteful. He doesn't know what the world's actually doing. He's actually adding on a Forge and a Citadel of Dune back in his base, so we are going to see some Zealot legs coming up very shortly, and likely a move into Templar tech from here, possibly into 3-base Arbiter as well. Going to be pretty good. Looks like the Vulture's going to try and get out. Not the best time to try and move them out on the map though. Should have really waited for speed. They're going to be able to be chased down very, very easily. Now this turret's actually going to catch this Observer, so really nicely done by the turret there. I did think that was a bit of a waste, but does end up working out pretty well. Of course, he does have to worry about more observers going to come into his base at some point. There you go, 4 factories are on the way. Double vulture upgrades started at the same time. Going to start being able to add a few mines on the extra bases, and then may even get this probe here. This could be pretty good for him. Now, of course, Marine is going to be slightly behind in macro. Looks like we do actually have a shuttle coming in. A lot of gateways being added as well. Sorry, 2 gateways, 3 gateways, a Stargate, and the Templar Archives at the same time. And it looks like that probe's actually going to be able to escape with its life. Interestingly, Marine isn't going to add his mines on the bases. He's actually just going to mine up the middle of the map. And this Vulture is the most damaged one. Going to try and snipe the probe, but not going to be able to do it. But there we go. Speed has finished up. Doesn't use all his mines, and as I said, does build them in a really, really weird place. But you know what? Marine is better at the game than me, so I'm in no position to judge. He is going for this different style to me as well, so maybe you want to use your mines a little bit differently. But with 5 factories up and running, he should be feeling pretty good about getting his macro up. We should actually have a second armory coming up very shortly. +1 is done, or nearly done even. And it looks like maybe it's not the 2-1 style. There isn't a starport yet, and there isn't anything else. But here we go, some more vultures actually moving out onto the map. Gonna be sniped down. Really, really nice unit movement by the world, just trying to keep the vultures in the base for as long as possible. Adding on a turret out the front as well. Gonna try and snipe some of the observers, but here we go. Look at this unit movement by the world. Knowing the vultures are gonna try and go around that way. Move some units in to intercept. One of the observers going to go down again. No, it won't. We'll manage to save it. We'll actually take down the turret. But this is a big army by Marine right now. He's lost a lot of vultures. That is a lot of power to the push. But as you can see, the Walt hasn't really moved off of Dragoons yet. He's only now just starting to flood some Zealots. Kind of strange given the fact he did have so many minerals from that mineral only. But he did use that to power up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways already. High gateway count for this point in the game, and vastly outnumbering the unit or the gateways from the Terran play. But here we go. Still no starport on the way. So this is going to be a 5-fact push off of the 2 base. Not going to go for a 3rd base behind this either. And this is a very, very strong army in a very, very strong position for the Terran to take. But here we go. There's so many units on both sides of this. Is this going to work? We do have siege mode coming up. He goes into siege mode. Is it going to be enough? There's going to be armies from both sides. And Zealot dropping down on top of the tanks as well. This is such a good engagement by DeWalt. Completely annihilating the army of Marine here. And this is everything Marine has built up this entire game. And he may even lose his natural here. He's going to try and move some vultures out onto the map. As you can see, no mines out in front though. And there's 2 tanks against a massive army from the Protoss player. This is not going to be enough to bring DeWalt's army back, I wouldn't believe. He does get the probe and pulls away. Nice moves. But still, Marine is in a terrible, terrible position now. His only thing he can really do is add on the starport very shortly, or he's going to fall very, very far behind in upgrades. But once again, it looks like DeWalt doing a very, very good job. Just moving his army around, sweeping for those mines. Oh, this could be a big mine though. Did that go off? I think it did. Yeah, I mean, Marine's trying to do what he can, trying to pull DeWalt back away from killing him. But this is just so much damage that he's taken. He's lost his entire army. He's going to try and say, you know what, my attack didn't work. I'm going to try and stay in. I'm going to try and take my 3rd base. Now, you can turtle up for a very, very long time for this Terran. Especially on these bases, he will have quite a lot of money left on them. And of course he does have this mineral only as well. We're finally going to see a scan going down, seeing if he can get into the 3rd base, but does get caught off by the unit movement of the war game. But this could be a huge mine. Does hit. Ooh, another mine does hit as well. So the more mines that are starting to hit, gets the probe. Very, very nicely done there. Pretty good. It looks like he's going to try and sneak a base over here, but not going to work. DeWalt with his unit movement again catching out the Terran on stopping him from doing anything he really wants to. And this is so, so good by DeWalt. He's stopping vultures, stopping SCVs, and he is going to allow, or he's going to be able to transfer his probes as safely as possible, and he's going to be able to start taking these top left bases. And you know what? This is very, very bad for Marine still. Marine is down 70 supply. Looks like he's going to try and push back out onto the map again. But this is so, so dangerous. I don't really agree with this move out by Marine. He needs to turtle back up until he gets a lot more tanks. Do we have any additional upgrades coming in? We do have +1 armor. We still do not have a starport, so there's going to be no 2-1 anytime soon. Looks like this could be a starport. No, it's going to be a command center. And finally, with Arbiters out, does he have stasis? Does he have recall? He's coming in. There's just not much here for the Terran player. And this could be a very, very quick end to this game. Just going to hide the bottom bar, going to hide the top left bar as well, just so we get a better view of the engagement. And what an amazing engagement this is for DeWalt. He's pushing in, he's breaking through on the Terran player, and this is just so much damage from Marine to be taking. He's barely mining at his 3rd, he's trying to get a 4th base. It's not going to work though, and this is such a clinical attack by DeWalt as he just pushes directly into the front. He's going to go for the command center. Is it going to work? It looks like it will. He's going to pull back. I think he could just go and kill the Terran player right now, but he doesn't feel safe not knowing what's behind the wall. Going to wait for some more units, and as you can see, the results of that is he is now 100 supply nearly ahead, and he is going to be taking his 5th base. He is going to probably be taking a 6th base as well, even adding on cannons. DeWalt just playing with his food right now. He could probably just push in, but I feel like he's waiting for something. Maybe he wants to style on his opponent a little bit harder. Of course, there's a lot of factories in play. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, he can only afford 2 gases worth of units. We finally do have the starport and the science facility coming up. Gonna be late on that +2 though. And DeWalt doing a pretty good job of his upgrades himself. He does have +1. This will be +2 attack on the way as well. Very nearly finished. So a Protoss with an upgrade advantage, with a tech advantage against his opponent is going to be in a very, very good place. Now, interestingly, Marine hasn't scouted the base over here. Looks like he saw that a little bit earlier, not gone back in to check. But this is going to be so much damage. How on earth is Marine going to hold on to this? Looks like Zealots dropping in, maybe dropping those a little bit too early, but I don't think it really matters. DeWalt is going in for the kill here, and this should be enough to just end the game right here, right now. He was waiting to be maxed again. He didn't want to risk anything, and DeWalt is looking to take the 3rd win for SK Alpha, despite the fact they had to walkovers against them. And there we go. Looks like DeWalt moving in for the kill. Nice mind drag. Oh, the mind drag killed so much, and GG! Marine loses the third game in a row for pSi, and DeWalt will take SK Alpha up to a 3-2 victory this week, and really, really well played by him. I can't really say anything bad about his play there. He absolutely played the map to its fullest. And that is a very good example of how to play PvT on that map. He played super safe early on. He played a little bit aggressive, kept the Terran on his knees, made sure he was honest. And in the end, it worked out for him fantastically, as you saw there. So I'm going to quickly report this game. I'm going to take a few minute break afterwards just to sort of catch my breath a little bit and also get another drink and set up for the next series. So I'm going to take a 7-minute break. That's probably the most amount of time I'll need. It takes about 3 minutes to make a tea and about 5 minutes to set up the thingy. So let's actually just report that, show the results screen as well, just so that's all done. Let's just play this cool royalty-free rock, and let's report the win for SK Alpha. So as you can see, if we go on to the results screen right now, Mitak and Marine with a very quick 2 wins against SK Alpha there with the walkovers, but then DeWalt and Terra showing their might, pulling it back against Cold, Officer Foire and Marine, taking the last 3 games and giving SK Alpha the win. So really, really nicely played by them. I will be back very shortly, guys. Do not go anywhere, and we will be back with more STPL action with iRk versus NaS. Okay, we got there in the end. Welcome back, guys. You are back with the STPL. I am your host once again, Kix, and I am going to be taking you on another best of 5 journey between two of the teams, this time from Group B. And this time it's going to be iRk versus NaS. Let's not waste too much time. There is a little bit of sad info about this. For just Terran fans, there is no Terrans in this lineup, so if you do like Terran, you may want to close your eyes or something because there's none here. I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. Here we go. Let's actually have a look at the maps again for week 3, just for the benefit of the people on the VODs. And let's get going from there. So as you can see, we're going to be starting off on Gladiator, moving on to Polaris Rhapsody, moving on to Grand Line SE, moving on to Neo Moonglaive, and then finally, for the ace match, if we get there, it's going to be Judgment Day. Of course, the maps have been cycling out every week. I don't know if you guys have noticed the pattern, but no real need to go into that. Let's have a look at who's going to be playing in this game. We're going to have iRk versus NaS. Starting us off, we're going to have a PvZ between Imber and Dragon. ZVZ is going to follow between... Oh, sorry, ZVP is going to follow between Whistler and Kingdom. Norgrim and Z-Lifer, or Zlifer, are going to be playing as ZVZ. And then rounding us out, we're going to have a ZVP between Jerry and Sugo on Neo Moonglaive. So this should be a lot of fun. Let's actually have one more look at the table. This is, of course, not including today's stats, but as you can see, iRk are 2 up at the moment, and they're doing the best out of any team right now, so it'll be interesting to see if NaS can hold their own against iRk. Oh man, did I send the wrong... Wait. How have I got the wrong lineup, man? Oh man, stuff changed around, didn't it? Whoops. Wait. Oh, Caxter, okay. Caxter replaced Whistler. It's going to be Whistler versus Lifer, and Kamizerg is going to replace Jerry. So let me just quickly update the overlay, just so it's right, and then we'll go back and just pretend none of that ever happened. I can't believe that. I need to make sure I update it in the thread as well, because I didn't update it in the thread, and that was where I copied it from. But shouldn't take me too long to fix. So Caxter replaced him, Whistler replaced him, and Kamizerg replaced him. Okay, that's very, very quick to fix. Let's actually just bring up the right screen again. Let's go back in, reintroduce the matchups. It's still going to be ZVPs and ZVZ, so nothing's changed on that front. So as you can see, Imber versus Dragon, Caxter versus Kingdom, Whistler versus Lifer, and Kamizerg versus Sugo, of course. iRk with a very, very strong Zerg lineup, relying a lot on their Zerg so far throughout the tournament. And Dragon, of course, being a race picker, does not play PvP, does play ZVP instead. So that's why we're going to not have a PvP today. But as you can see, let's go back into the table. As I said, iRk doing really well. NaS haven't shown the best of games so far. This could be their redemption match. And Shinhan Tank is a fictional sponsor I made up just because I used to do a different league. It's the same league but different premise. I'll explain it all later if you want, but basically I can explain as we get into the first game, probably better. As you can see, today we're going to have iRk versus NaS. iRk doing a really good job winning both of their games. Their Zergs, as I said, carrying them pretty nicely. 4 wins for their Zergs and 1 loss. Really well done by them so far, and 3 wins on their Protoss as well. iRk haven't fielded a Terran yet. I'm not sure. I can't even remember if they've got a Terran on their lineup, but one thing I might look to do in round 2 is make it so you have to field 1 of each race. I'm not really sure if that's something people want, but I think it might be better for the tournament. Maybe we'll avoid a lot more mirrors, but you know what? It's not going to be too bad. Let's actually have a look at what players we're going to have. We're going to have, to start us off, as I said before, Imber versus Dragon. Now, Imber, very strong Protoss player, has won his first game. Dragon, unfortunately, losing both of his games so far. He has actually played a ZVP and a PBT, so he's actually lost both of those, unfortunately. But their arena of battle is going to be Gladiator. Very, very nice pun there. I completely forgot it was Gladiator first, but that worked pretty well. Let's go with that. and let's see how it's going to play out. Of course, the EVP so far showing pretty imbalanced towards the Zerg side in my tournament so far, but of course all can change. It's early on. There are still 4 rounds. Some of the maps may stay for multiple rounds, but we may cycle out the maps each round. But of course, you do have the playoffs as well for each round, and the grand final playoffs at the end. So there is a lot of games coming up, a lot of time to really expand on the stats in my database, which I'm kind of excited to do. Didn't get a real chance to do that before, and they didn't really get a chance to do it with Clash of Char either. So I'm slowly building my own little database of foreign and Korean wins, and you know what? It's pretty cool. I'm quite happy with it. And let's not waste any more time. Let's head in to the first game, and it's going to be between Imber and Dragon. Let's get going, guys. Okay. Okay, so starting us off in the bottom right position, we do have the White Zerg. It's Dragon. And his opponent starting us off in the top right position, close by, or close vertical positions, not horizontal positions or anything, or cross. It's going to be fighting for iRk, gonna see if he can keep up the win streak of iRk so far. It's gonna be Imber. Now, as I said before, Imber has actually won the game he's played. He's doing pretty well so far. He's shown to be a very, very good asset to iRk as a team. I believe Imber was actually the first person who got the... Wait, no, I think it was Jerry who got the first man of the match interview. I'm actually waiting for a few man of the match interviews from people, but people are getting a little bit tardy with them. So I want to make sure that people start getting those in, because I really want to give the players a voice. One of the things I wanted to do with the STPL, and one of the things a lot of other foreign tournaments don't do, is you see people are winning them, like, they kind of remain quite nameless, because oh, Imber got the first. It was Imber. I think Jerry must have got week 2. But basically, people in the foreign community kind of remain quite nameless. Of course, you do have a couple of like big names, like DeWalt is pretty big, Eon Zerg, True Touch. People have been around for a long time, but even then, you don't really know too much about them unless you watch them stream. There's no real stories behind them. Of course, there's a lot of drama between certain players. We've seen a lot of that recently. And by the way, we do have a 12 pool coming up for Dragon. Going to be a 12 pool 11 hatch by the looks of it. And the probe is not going to get here in time to stop this. But one of the things I wanted to set out to do with the SCPL, give the players a voice, get people to know exactly what's going on with the players, what they do, what their plans are, what they really want to do, get some stories between the teams as well, get some rivalries going, and hopefully use it to try and grow the scene a lot more than it already is. That's my major plan. I'm going to be working quite close together with Zero, Sham 2, Doc Holiday, Rapid, possibly Artosis, I'm not too sure. I'm hoping we can get them involved and do what we can to try and increase the viewership across the board for everybody. Of course, there are other organisers, like Red Warrior is going to be involved as well. I may ask Gecko, because I know he does the Brood War Clan League as well. So I just basically want to get anyone involved who does make tournaments and see if we can get as much done as possible, move towards increasing the size of the scene, making it better for players, getting sponsorships and things to increase the tournament prize pool and get more players involved as well in playing, because there's a lot of tournaments going on right now, but they're all pretty fragmented. The prize pools are completely different throughout all of them. A lot of it's crowdfunded, and it would be really, really nice to see if we can get some sponsors coming into the Brood War scene, or the foreign Brood War scene anyway, and try and make the foreign Brood War scene a little bit more legitimate than it is. It's very akin to like the early fighting game community right now. It's not really... Unfortunately, it's not really anywhere near like the StarCraft 2 foreign scene or anything like that, and it's going to be a lot of hard work to get there. But it's going to be a lot of fun to try. I'm going to work really, really hard on this. So hopefully you all do continue to support all the tournaments that are going on right now. I know there is another tournament going on. I think at the minute, I believe it's the... I think it might be the Brood War Clan League. I'm not too sure. Of course, there is there is some other stuff going on as well, but do support all the streamers if you can. Try and watch and follow as many StarCraft streamers as possible. Even if you see someone new, try and encourage them to stick around, because the Brood War scene is pretty great. I know there's been some people calling it toxic or whatever, but it's not too bad. But here we go, moving back into the game, kind of stuff's happening now. We actually did have a Forge Fast expand into a gateway, into a Cybernetics core. We're going to have a Stargate coming over here pretty soon for Ember. And Brood War is still pretty big in Korea. I mean, you do have ASL and stuff like that, but the probe gonna get caught out quickly. It is gonna scout around for this third base, but looks like we are gonna see a more traditional style by Dragon. Gonna be expanding away from his Protoss opponent. Gonna take another third, or another natural even, and that is gonna get him access to a very, very quick fourth. But here we go, Citadel of Adun is coming up before the Stargate, so we're gonna have a DT opening here by the looks of it, by Ember. And Ember is going to be looking to do a lot of damage early on. Dragon, his CVP is really good. He's been race picking for a very long time from what I understand. So it's not going to be too bad for him. It's not like we have a situation where like he's just started race picking. Looks like the probe will finally be caught out. Not possible. It may not be for DTs, but we are going to see Zealot leg speed. Of course, the Overlord's going to see the Citadels coming up. If he gets a little bit closer, looks like he'll miss it. This could actually be quite big, actually, if he doesn't scout this Zealot speed. That is going to be a very, very quick attack, but here we go. Another gateway coming down in the main, so it's likely we're going to see a Zealot attack coming out here rather than DTs. And the first two Zealots already on the way. They're going to try and make their way into the natural, and there's no defense here. This could be a lot of very early damage onto Dragon here. Ember splitting up his Zealots, maybe not the best choice with the links here, but one drone does go down already. Two drones go down, and there's of course another Zealot in the main now. He's going to at least be able to get another couple of drones here, I think. And this is a very, very nice trade. Trading those early aggressive units for economy is going to be a great position for the Protoss player to be in, but is he going to be able to make it into an equal trade? These Lings are doing a really, really good job chasing this Zealot around, and no, does not quite get an equal trade, but of course that is a little bit of lost mining time for Dragon. Of course he does have this third base come up, he's got his fourth hatchery on the way, fifth hatchery should be on the way as well, there we go. And we should be seeing him moving into a Spire and into a Hydralisk Den very, very shortly. Back here we do have the Templar Archives coming up. Gateways as well. Currently there's no actual Stargate, which could hurt him if we do have like some kind of muteless switch coming in for Dragon. Now the important thing to remember is Dragon is a Protoss player mainly. He will know times that Protoss players are weak, and this is certainly one of them, but he's not going to be able to do any aggression right now because he has to defend against the Zealots. This is going to be a pretty strong timing. But it looks like it will be actually completely deflected by the Zerg player. This is of course going to force an Archon. He's not going to be able to wait for Storm. He needs to have that early defense. Looks like the Dragoon will go down and the Zealots will do as well. Pretty good trade for the Zealots though. And Zealots take so long to die, but here we go. He hasn't actually scouted this third base yet. He does not know it's on the way. As you can see, we're going to have an Archon morphing in as the city can't wait for Storm. And we're going to have cannons coming up in both mineral lines. So while the Mutalists are not going to be able to do too much early on, this is a lot of sacrifices that Ember is going to have to make to be able to defend against this. Looks like the Archon's going to try and pull back. Are we going to get a big shot down on the Mutalists? They're going to move in, but there's a lot of airspace around this base. He's going to be able to fly around for a very, very long time. And as you can see, he's starting to move some Lings into position. We should have that fourth base coming up very, very shortly. Let's actually keep an eye on that drone. But looks like he is going to be spending his money on some units first, on some drones as well, just to saturate himself. Knows there's not really too much going on, but here we go. Looks like he's going to fly, and he's going to dive on the Archon. The Archon doesn't get a shot off, and that's a very, very nice drone. He may even get one on the High Templar. Gets one on the High Templar, then that is going to be a good trade. One High Templar and some Muteless health. Muteless health for one High Templar and one Muter is a pretty good trade. He's going to severely hurt the Storm count. There is only one Storm available for this push. Two Archons, three Zealots, and a DT though. Going to be a pretty strong army, and here we go. The Archon's getting a really, really nice shot off on the Muteless. They're actually nearly killing all three of them. And he's done the damage he wants to do. He's going to move back. He's moving some DTs in. Is there any detection? There is, of course, the Overlords. He has no Corsairs to push these away. But it looks like he's going to wait to build up his gateway count. It looks like Dragon should eventually be taking this base, so I think he's just a little bit worried about what's coming his way. He's going to add on some more static defense. He's going to add on some more drones. Of course, he does have to wall in at this base with some Hydras and a Sunken as well. Interestingly, he's not going for a Spore, but this DT going to be deflected pretty easily. This could actually go down really, really quickly. Really nice pick off there by Dragon. And that is going to be pretty good for him. But here we go. Looks like we do have Imber is going to move out onto the map. Going to take this mineral only as his third. A little bit easier for the Protoss to hold. But of course there is these weird triangles of high ground around all of the areas. So it does give the Zerg a high ground position to attack from. But looks like the Mule's going to run in again. There's only 3 of them. They're going to go in for a High Templar snipe if he can. And he's going to scout this third base. There's a lot of Hydralisk starting to be produced. No upgrades yet for the Zerg player. Nice Storm Duck go down on top of the Mule's. Almost feels like a waste. But there we go. Both the Mule's do go down. +1 is done for our Protoss player. +2 should be on the way as well. Yes, it is. Fairly standard game so far. And with these Hydras moving out onto the map, he's going to look to take a little bit more map control. And maybe try and put a little bit more pressure on the Protoss. Of course, the Storm count is incredibly low. No storms on these High Templar, and this could be a very bold gambit moving out on the map like this. Without that much storm, this is a lot of damage from the Hydralisk going to be coming in. The Zealots getting on top of them immediately though, and the Archon, if it can get up, is going to do a lot of damage, but no, it looks like he cannot afford to take this engagement. One of the High Templars actually went down immediately in that engagement. And the Hydralists are going to be able to push on through. Imber is going to find it hard to hold on to this main base now. Looks like we do have another Templar coming in. It doesn't have enough for Storm. And this could just be too much. The High Templar goes down immediately. Really nice snipe. And such a great engagement by Dragon. As I did say, he does know the times at which Protoss are going to be weak. And he is exploiting that to the max here with his Protoss knowledge. And Imber finds himself trapped on 2 bases with very, very few units. It looks like he's going to try and hold on with the Zealots, but I think this is just going to be too much for Dragon. There's only 1 cannon here to defend. No Storm available. There may be one here. Yeah, there is 1 Storm, and it's a really good Storm, but Dragon moves his Hydralisk out of the way at the last second, only losing a few. And it looks like this should be enough to actually break on through even. There's units from all over the place coming in. There's no more Storm. Probes have been pulled. There's just too many units for Dragon here. And just outclassing Imber in this matchup here. He's just doing such a good job. Breaks down the front. No Storms are left. And this is going to have to be the end for Imber. It looks like he wanted to take a 4th base, but that is not going to happen. More probes have been pulled. He's got a couple of cannons. He's going to try and hold on. He wants to stay in the game as long as possible, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. And we will see GG very shortly, I believe. But still, Imber put up a good fight. He just over-prepared, I feel, almost for Mutalisks. And he got completely caught off guard by this Hydralisk switch. And there's not really too much he can do. I think he's kind of processing his loss. But he's still holding on. He doesn't want to give up just yet. Doesn't want to kill his unbeaten streak, but with Lurkers here as well, Dragon doesn't necessarily even need to push in. He could just sit on top of the ramp. Was this a probe? Yes, it was. He may have gone for the expansion, but he's going to try and hold. He does have 1 more Storm. Is it going to be a good one? Looks like it is. Going to push the units back for now, but there's just so many units for Dragon. I mean, how on earth can you ever possibly hold against this? He's going to try and flee back to his mineral line. But Imber is playing his best. GG. And Dragon is going to take the first win in NaS versus Imber. That was a pretty well played game there by Dragon. As I said, he does know the times Protoss is going to be weakest, and he did really exploit that very well. Imber tried to defend against mass Mutalisks, but I believe Dragon only actually built 5 of them, and then just switched immediately into Hydralisks on 3 base, and that was just too much for poor Imber to handle. There wasn't really too much he could do there either. I feel kind of bad, but that's going to lead us into our second ZVP. It's going to be on the debut of Polaris Rhapsody, which we're going to see in just a moment. Let me just bring up the... Or actually, I'm just going to sort out the overlay, and while I do that, I'm going to play the intro. So see you guys very soon. Okay guys, hopefully you enjoyed that opening. It took me a little bit to make, but we're just going to move on to the proper overlay and then we can get into the game. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a ZBP and it's going to be on Polaris Rhapsody, which we should see in just a moment. Just making sure that I've got everything set up properly and then we can get going. Just always want to make sure I've got everything set. Let's actually just play some music again. Some cool royalty-free music, as someone's pointed out, but you know what? It's better than getting hit by copyright claims. I mean, you can't really beat that, right? That's just perfect. Okay, so let's actually have a look at who's going to be playing in this game. I did introduce it a little bit earlier, but for the benefit of the VODs, let's actually switch on over to the overlay and let's have a look. So as you can see, we're going to have... let's just pretend that didn't happen. Okay, so we're going to have Caxter, the Zerg player, playing for iRk, going to be looking to pull the series back in iRk's favour. And he is going to be up against Kingdom, fighting for NaS. Did win his last game. Dragon, of course, did win the first game of the set. Going to be starting from a 1-0 position. Going to be feeling pretty good for him. And I'm going to need to down to the top overlay again, but their arena of battle is going to be Polaris Rhapsody. Now, a lot of people here may have never really seen this map before. It was a pretty cool map in one of, I believe, 2010. I think it was in one of the 2009 MSLs as well. And it's a really, really cool two-player map. Spawns are 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock. In the 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock locations, you do actually have double gas spaces, there's mineral only thirds at 6 and 12, and also I'm not sure if you can see, but to the sort of right of 9 o'clock and to the left at 3 o'clock, there's also another small mineral only base there, so really, really cool. And Eskia, the name of this song is Psychoanalysis. I actually quite like it, it's quite cool. But as you can see, that is Polaris Rhapsody. It's going to be the debut of this map in the SCPL. This has appeared for the first time in Week 3. It'll be back again in Week 4, so don't worry if you don't get to see too many games on it. There's going to be a lot more coming your way. And let's actually use this as a chance to segue into the game. And as I said before, it's going to be Kingdom versus Caxter. Let's get going. And I'm just going to have to quickly update the overlay because it didn't save that I pressed the button. It's going to be yellow versus teal, and that should fix absolutely everything. Looks like Cacta saying, yeah, it works, so I don't know what they were going on about. Looks like maybe maybe they were going for like a VPN or something. Generic rock 1.wav. If you win, we remake. Okay, so starting us off in the top left 10 o'clock position, we do have the yellow Zerg player. It's going to be Caxter. And his opponent down here in the bottom right, it's going to be the teal Protoss Kingdom. Now, it looks like we are going to see a Forge Fast expand coming up from Kingdom here. He's scouting pretty early with his probe. He's going in a pretty weird direction. One thing to know about this map as well is there's actually a bridge here and a bridge here in the opposite side. You can't really see it, it's just out of the vision. But it is a very, very small bridge, makes it very hard to get units across. So it does make these high ground pods over on the left and right side of the map very important for army movement. And you do often see split maps in this map. Pretty cool map overall though. Of course, both players will know where each other spawned. It is a two-player map. It looks like we're going to see Caxter maybe going for a 12 full, maybe going to try and go for a 12 hatch. Looks like it is going to be the 12 hatch here. And that's going to be quite dangerous. This probe is going to be as annoying as possible. Or maybe not. Maybe Kingdom's just going to go, you know what, you can have your second hatchery. I don't really care. I'm going to block the third hatchery from going now. But it looks like we are going to see a little bit of drone micro here. Going to try and catch the probe. Gets it to very, very low health. 2 hits away from death there. And Kingdom is going to have to pull his probe away. It looks like he's actually going to go for a Nexus first. After seeing the fact there was a 12 hatch, very, very smart play by Kingdom. Knowing to be as greedy as humanly possible. I mean, if the Zerg is going to be greedy, why can't you? Of course, the spawning pool Gonna come up a little bit quicker, but we should see the Forge coming up here pretty soon as well. Nexus on the way. Forge should be placed here, I believe. He'll probably place the gateway here. And that's going to be a pretty good wall off, so nothing too much to worry about. Of course, no gas on the way yet for Kingdom. He's going to need as many minerals as possible early game. Looks like he's going to cannon rush. Or he's going to fake a cannon rush. And look at this, guys. You cannot get a drone behind this place. One drone cannot kill a pylon. So when this Forge finishes, we could actually see a cannon rush as well. And this is pulling drones away from mining. This is really, really clever. I really like this from Kingdom. What the ultimate way? He actually cancels it. Is he going to build another one? No, it was a fake. He pulled the drones away from mining, and he is going to go on home. He knows the Lings are going to be on the way soon, and that is going to be his cue to get out of there. He's going to build his gateway up here. Sorry, I got the wall slightly wrong. And he's going to add a cannon on himself. He's going to be feeling pretty good about that, though. 3 drones. 3 drones to fake out a, 3 drones worth of mining time to fake out a cannon rush. Pretty good from Kingdom there. Now, I see Rota is wondering why he went Forge before Gateway. I'm also wondering that, but it does keep him a little bit safer against these early Lings. Make sure that, the Zerg player can't be too aggressive. Sometimes I've seen when you have like one zealot blocking the ramp, the Lings get up and kill you. So I'm glad Kingdom isn't going for that. Going to be a little bit safer. And Caxter, of course, going to be going for his 3rd hatchery. Going to be playing quite conservative from here. He's not going for a crazy Ling or Limb, but the Lings get past it. Going to get on top of the cannon. Can they get this cannon down? There's only one cannon. Kingdom actually playing a little bit greedier than I thought he would do, but just holding on with that one cannon. Going to add the Cybernex core here as well and go for the 2nd photon cannon. But that was very, very close there by Caxter, actually. Really, really nicely timed push in. Gets there before the Zealot spawned. Sensing weakness and trying to dive on it. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out for him there. But Caxter, of course, is playing from behind in this set. So he's going to have to make sure that he plays quite conservative, quite safe, and try and take it to a very nice win for iRk. One thing about best of 5s between teams, of course, is that when you do play a best of 5, you need to make sure you think about how your other teammates are doing. Now, I know a lot of these games are actually played concurrently, but if all 3 players decide to do some crazy cheese and they all fail, they lose the series. So I know iRk is doing a lot of preparation on these maps. They're doing a lot of builds that they're trying out a lot. I know NaS is doing good preparation as well, and making sure that they prepare the certain matchups. Looks like we have Dragon going for a pretty standard Protoss opening here. We have that Zealot coming in, trying to stop that creep colony from being morphed, but he is going to be able to stop this with the Zealot, or with the Lings even. Really nice Ling micro there, actually. Gonna keep the Zealot alive though, and that does mean the Sunken should actually go down, but the Ling's coming back in. Is he going to be able to get the Sunken? It's going to have to cancel. It finishes with 2 health and goes down immediately. Really, really nice usage of the fact that Sunken does lose 100 health when it finishes, purely based on the creep colony having more health overall. Just imagine a game where Sunken colonies had 400 health, and just imagine how hard that would be. There we go, it looks like he's going to move the Zealot into the top corner. Interestingly, Caxter not trying to kill it. If he went in immediately, he would have been able to kill that straight away. But +1 upgrade coming up for him. We're going to have Stargate as well. We're going to have +1 attack. No +1 attack yet. Now, that's kind of interesting to me. We haven't had any +1 attack coming up for the Corsairs this entire day so far. Of course, this is only our 2nd CVP, but it should be interesting to see if we see the more recent conventional play of getting those +1 Corsairs out, making it a little bit harder for the Zerg player to go Spire, obviously killing the Overlords a lot quicker as well. And looks like this first Overlord will go down. One difference I do notice is when you watch Best Play, for instance. I know he's not the best PvZ, but what Protoss players usually do is they'll send their first Corsair immediately to scout, and then what they'll do is they'll pull back, they'll try and get an Overlord out the main and the one from the natural as well with the 2nd Corsair. But you know what, he's still going to be able to move in. It's going to be a little bit harder for him to do any damage to the Overlords though, because we should have Scourge popping out pretty soon. And I do live quite not close to a police station, but on a pretty busy road, so you do hear a lot of sirens going off, unfortunately. But here we go, the Scourge gonna get taken down by the Corsair, or the Corsair gonna get taken down by the Scourge even, and that is not gonna feel good for Kingdom. That's one of the major things with PvZ. You want to be slowly accumulating those Corsairs up over time. He is going to scout that it's Spire play. He won't have seen that there was Muteless, though. Is Kingdom going to fall for the same trick that got White? Sorry, it didn't get White, did it? It got Ember before. Is he going to fall to the same kind of build as his as iRk's? Oh, this isn't going to work. You know what? Looks like we're going to have Caxter going for a very quick force base at the double gas. Both of these gases do have 2,500 minerals on, so they're going to be pretty good. Looks like we do have Zealots moving in with speed as well, but they are going to run into the Muteless here, and Kingdom is not going to be feeling good about this, having lost a Corsair already. Looks like he's going to go for the counter. This is a smart move. Of course, Caxter going to have to pull the Muteless back for the time being to deal with this. I mean, he can lose all his drones otherwise. This Sunken Colony will go down very, very quickly, but nice drill around the edge of it, but not going to be enough. Gonna be enough though to give his Muteless time to kill these Zealots, and that is a very, very important moment in the game. Okay, fair enough. Doctor just pointing out in chat, just so you can see this if you're watching the VODs on YouTube. He says +1 air is usually more of a finesse opening with DTs, and no +1 air with 4 gates and +1 Zealots with legs is like a brute force option. Thank you very much for pointing that out. There is 4 gateways here, as you did say, so kind of interesting to know that. It's nice to learn a lot about the matchups really as I'm going along, because I don't play Zerg or Protoss really, so this is quite a learning experience to see so many good PvZs. Looks like we're going to have one of the Hydralisks going down. The Zealot may even get a couple of drones. Really trading nicely with these Hydralisks actually, but with another Sunken Colony coming up. This Zealot is not long for this world. There we go. It does go down, and this is going to give Caxter finally the ability to move across the map. There is a cannon in one of the mineral lines, but not the other, so this could be very, very dangerous. How many Corsairs are left? Are there? There's 5 at the moment. They, of course, do not have +1. But here we go. Looks like they're going to move into the Corsairs. This is going to be a lot of damage the Corsairs are doing on the Muteless, and of course, Corsairs do have moving shot. One of the Corsairs getting hit by a Scourge, but that is going to be a very good engagement for Kingdom to take. He didn't lose any probes there, I don't believe. And we do have the Archon on the way as well. Hopefully he does not overly prepare for the Muteless. He does have the Corsairs as well. And he will need some storms very soon for this very, very big Hydra swell coming out of the Zerg bases. Looks like we don't see any droning going over on the 4th base yet. We should see some droning at the 3rd though. But this is going to be a very, very strong push for the Zerg player. There's a lot of Corsairs in the sky, but a lot of the Zealots did go down before. Here we go. Looks like we're going to get the engagement. Can this Archon get a nice shot? It does. It gets a very nice shot on the Mutelisks. And the Zealots that were going to go for a counter, pulling back immediately. Wants to make sure he doesn't die to anything stupid. No storm yet available. There we go, the Archon and the Zealots getting on top of the Hydralisks here. This is a very, very good engagement for Kingdom. That went a lot better than I thought it would. All the Mutelisks go down. And suddenly the Corsairs are completely unrivaled in the sky. Zealots pushing up against the Hydralisks as well. And this is a very, very good position for Kingdom to be in. Is he going to go for the pushback? Is he going to go for the immediate counterattack? +1 attack is done. +2 attack should be going up soon. Let's actually just check that after this engagement. But the Zealot's doing so much damage. Caxter doing a very good job trying to count back though. He does need to get rid of this Archon though. A storm does go down. Really nice storm. Not really killing anything though. Nice dodge by Caxter. Maybe a little bit misplaced. And finally, with that storm whiffing, this is finally enough for Caxter to actually push back Kingdom. And we do have +2, 3/4 of the way done. So let's actually move back to the engagement. One of the High Templar unfortunately getting stuck in the middle. They are very, very slow moving around. And Caxter has a very big army. He's going against 2 cannons and a lot of Zealots and an Archon. But is this going to be enough from the Protoss player? Looks like we're going to have droning actually going on at the 4th base, even building a Spore and a Sunken. Wants to make sure he doesn't get killed by DTs. Here we go, looks like he's going to push in. Is this just too much though from from our Protoss player. Looks like it might be. Gonna be able to trap the Zealot, gonna be able to trap the Hydros from getting on the ramp. This is gonna be such a huge engagement for Kingdom to take a really, really nice job. Caxter gonna pull back over the bridge, gonna make it very hard to engage. As you can see, very, very small choke point here. And he's walling off with his Hydros very, very well. But of course, he is going to go for a third base now. Looks like we have a Ling checking the bottom left. Just making sure that there's nothing crazy going on. We do have another swell of Hydros coming in. They do have +1 carapace. Do we have any other tech going on? Looks like we do just have the Evolution Chamber. No +1 attack coming on yet. No Hydros upgrades, so we do have Overlord speed coming in. Looks like he does have Hydro speed and range already, so that's why there's none of those. But fourth base is slowly starting to be saturated with drones. Going to be able to take that double gas pretty soon, and that's going to make him feel pretty confident to go into his hive fairly shortly, I would imagine, when he gets that double gas up. Of course, double gas, not always the perfect answer. Of course, you do need 6 workers to get the benefit of the gas, but you, of course, do get gas for 2 bases. So it all works out in the end, but here we go. Looks like the Hydra's going to move in. Zealots. Oh, very, very nice storms there, but not really killing anything. Caxter's storm dodging has been absolutely incredible this game. Looks like Kingdom does not have a storm there, but that's a nice storm. Getting a few of the Hydras. And this Archon doing a pretty good job just soaking some of the damage. But is there just too many Hydras? It doesn't look like it. +2 attack is done. +2 attack against 1 carapace is going to be a pretty good engagement here for the Zerg player. Interestingly, pulling a few probes there just to make sure. But really well held once again by Kingdom. I mean, it looks like Cax is throwing a lot of units in, just trying to break his way through, but not really getting too far. Is he actually going to go into drop tech? Drop's very strong on this map. There's no defense here, and you can actually drop completely uninhibited from here, but I think we're not going to see that here. He is sending a few overlords here just to make sure he doesn't get killed by DTs. Kind of very embarrassing when you lose your entire army to like 3 DTs when you're looking. But looks like we are going to see, of course, the overlords help snipe the observers. There is going to be a high temper on the high ground. Going to be a pylon added, and it looks like Kingdom's army is getting a little bit split off. He needs this High Templar with his other units, but he's going to try and come in with some units from behind, try and trap, or at least slow down the Hydros from running away, and try and trap them here. There's going to be a storm from behind. Is it going to be... Oh, a nice storm does go down, but really nice dodging again. I cannot believe how well Caxter is splitting his Hydros away from this. But Caxter doing a very, very good job of running away. But Kingdom's army is so powerful right now. Just pure Zealot and Archon Storm. Gonna be enough to really push through this Defiler army. Not Defiler, Hydralist. There's no Hive yet on the way, I don't believe. So it's gonna be a while before he can get to Defilers. Gonna be a while before he can switch back into like Guardians or anything. But the Storm dodges aren't quite as good there. Really nice Storms by Kingdom. And a lot of the units are going down from Caxter. It looks like Kingdom may even be able to push through and take out this base. There's not many units for Caxter right now. He doesn't seem to be able to spend his lava. He doesn't really have that much money. And here we go. The units are on top of the third base. This is going to be too much. The Hydra is actually pushing in from the low ground. Not going to be getting the best of engagements here. The Archon, only with 5 kills, but it soaked up so much damage across all of these engagements. Nice storm dodge again, though. Really, really nicely done. The Archon finally does go down. That 10 kill Archon though, look at him, he's a boss. 11 kills now, goes down as well. And Caxter, looks like against all odds, he's gonna hold, maybe, it's so close. 2 Hydralists remain, he's gonna get busted. But more Hydralists coming in from the south, are they gonna be enough to hold on? Kingdom, as you can see in the 6 o'clock position, does have his third base up. Nice storm dodge again. But this just looks to be too much from the Protoss player. It's such a close 2-way engagement. Units going down from both sides. And it looks like eventually Caxter does manage to hold on to his third base. He's going to have his 4 bases mining gas soon. He doesn't actually have that many minerals on drones though. I almost feel like I missed something. But here we go. Looks like the Hydralists are going to move in. They're going to try and do what they can. Gonna clean up everything they need to do, and here we go, some more Zealots moving into this third or fourth base even, and this could do a lot of damage here. Fourth base being established by Kingdom. Caxter is realistically unable to push back against this. No cracklings. Upgrades only at 1-1. Should have 2. Do you need Hive for that? Don't think so. Should be going for at least 2-1. But the Zealot's getting caught out. Drones once again though pulled away from mining. And if you just give me just 1 second, guys, I just need to mute my microphone for literally a second. Okay, it looks like I missed a little bit of chatter. I just needed to quickly sort out my nasally voice. I don't know how this always keeps happening, but as I cast, like, it seems to get more and more nasally as I go along. But here we go. Looks like we do have a lot of Hydralisks now building up. Kingdom did not know the map, so he didn't prepare for this map as much as I thought he had. And Caxter looks like he's just sort of unsure really what to do with his units. There is a Proleague and a Scout, that there is some Hydralisks here moving around. Still no Hive yet on the way. 18 minutes of the game seems almost very dangerous to be doing. You do need that all-important Hive tech as you get later into the game, but I guess Caxter never really been in a position to do so. A bit unfortunate for him, but he is building up a very big Hydralisk force. And there's not actually that many storms here. There's 2 on that Templar, 1 on that one, and 2 on this one. So how is this engagement going to do? We do have a Muteless switch coming back into play. This is going to allow him to snipe off those storms. Going to be very important to be able to pull that off. But that is a very difficult move. There is a lot of Archons here, a lot of Dragoons now. And it's going to be very dangerous. Now, is he going to make a push? Is he going to push anywhere? Without any Defilers, because of the lack of Hive, it makes it very hard to push in against the Protoss player. There's going to be a lot of cannons at every base at this point. 3 cannons over here at the 6 o'clock. 6 cannons, I believe. Yep, 6 cannons and a Robo. Coming up at the 3rd, looks like we do actually have the Mutelist going in for a Templar snipe. They get 1 of them. Can they get another one? They do. They get 2 of them. A lot of the Mutelist actually going down, but he can get another one. Storm does go down on top of the Mutelist, but that's a lot of wasted Storm, a lot of dead Templar. And here we go, Caxter looks like he wants to try and end it here. Is there going to be enough here? He gets a Templar immediately. There is one though, and that's a huge Storm on the back. Hydralisk, another huge one as well. And Caxter losing so many units in that engagement is not going to be feeling good there, and such a good Storm set by Kingdom. Gonna allow him to push back the Zerg back to his 4 bases again. And where is Caxter gonna take his 5th base? He's left it a little bit too long, but I think this is gonna be it. I think Kingdom is gonna take NaS 2-0 up against the leaders of Group B so far. And Kingdom doing an incredible job here in PvZ, just showing an absolute masterclass of how to battle down, beat your way through the Zerg player all the way throughout the game. This 5th hatchery or 6th hatchery is going to go down. The Hydralisk coming in to defend, but there's not going to be enough. Drones are going down as well. There's a lot of action going on 2 sides. A big Storm on all of the Hydralisks once again. Hydra's being heavily damaged there. And this 4th base is going to go down. Kingdom with his own 4th base, securing a 5th base at the same time. Going to be going for a very good win here against Caxter. And Caxter is holding on, much like Imber did before him. The moment you forgot the Lurker upgrade, lol. And we are going to see GG very soon. It looks like Caxter's going to try and hold on. He does have a lot of units still. A lot of Hydralisks, a lot of idle Overlords. Just dropping the main because player was not showing. Never played this map. Good job, well played, GG, GG. And Kingdom is going to take a very quick 2-0. Looks like someone... They're both playing on still, they both did say GG. But looks like they're going to play out this engagement. You know what, it'd be really funny if Caxter took this engagement and then came back and won, even though they both said GG. Okay. What on earth? Is he going to say, can I take back the GG or something? Ally Vision. He's gonna look at what he has, I guess. Let's actually have a look at... Oh my god, he actually gave him vision. That's really funny. He's given him vision, he sees the bases, and GG again. Kingdom is going to take a very cool 2-0 lead up against iRk in this second series of today. Okay, so let's actually head on back on over to the overlay. I'm going to quickly report the game and set up the next one. While I do that, I'm going to do what I usually do, bring up the intro so you can have a look at that again. It does give me like a 52 seconds or so to finish setting everything up. But really well played there by Kingdom. Does take NaS to a 2-0 lead at the moment. And it's going to be up to the next players. It's going to be a ZVZ. And it's going to be up to Whistler to see if he can pull it back against NaS. Let's head on over to the intro and let's get going. Oh, wrong screen for a second there. Let's actually just quickly show off the overlay, introduce the players, I know you probably just saw them. But we are going to be heading on to a ZVZ, and it's going to be between NaS, Z-Lifer, and iRk Whistler, of course. Z-Lifer just has to win this game, and if he does do that, he is going to be moving on with NaS's first victory overall in their group. Going to be very, very important for them, of course. There is still 3 games for iRk to bring this back. I'm not too sure if they're going to be able to do it, but still, really, really cool for them, and their arena of battle is going to be on the one, the only... Okay, wait. I didn't change the map. Let's actually just show off my really badly made overlay creator. Here we go. Let's go back to the map stats page. There we go. It's going to be on Grand Line SE. It's going to be a ZVZ, so map stats don't really matter. It does have a ramp going up to the main, so it does make it a little bit easier to defend against the sort of crazy Ling bus you can have. A very nice place you can build a sunken at the natural to try and help defend your ramp as well. And should be a pretty standard game overall, I guess, in CVZ. Probably going to be looking at a quicker game here. Whistler has shown he's been pretty good so far in the SDPL. Not really seen too much of Z-Lifer so far. So should be cool to see how they're both doing in the CVZ matchup. And let's waste no more time. Let's get into the game and let's get started. Can Whistler bring it back? Let's find out. And speaking of the man in question, we are going to start with him in the top left corner. It is going to be playing for iRk, Whistler as the Teal Zerg. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom right is going to be Z-Lifer fighting for NaS. Gonna see if he can come away with the 3-0 victory against his opponent. Now, not sure how well this is going to go for him. Just going to generate the top overlay again. Looks like it didn't fully update. There we go. It seems to have updated now, so that's all good. And a ZVZ should be quite exciting here. We haven't had a ZVZ so far today. It'll be nice to have a pretty quick and entertaining game, hopefully. Usually ZVZs do turn out that way, so... Looks like there's a little bit of a disadvantage for Z-Lifer. He is going to get, as Cadency puts it, overlorded. The overlord is going in the wrong direction. It's going to take him a little bit longer to actually scout out what his opponent is doing. And every second counts in a mirror matchup. Of course, it's not the matter between life and death. There's a lot of ways this can go. Of course, with the Overlord scouting, though, a lot of stuff can go on. There could be a lot of differences between the builds early game. I can't imagine we'll see both of them going for 12 hatch, but you never know. Both of them could be feel quite confident. Looks like Z-Lifer is going to go for this 12 hatch here. This could be quite dangerous. Looks like we do have a 12 pool coming up by his opponent. That is going to be a little bit of an advantage for Whistler in terms of the aggression. He's going to be able to get his gas as well. When are we going to see the pool coming up for Z-Lifer? Is he going to go for 12 pool or is he going to go for 11 pool? Looks like it is going to be an 11 pool here, so he's not too far behind, but his speed will be a lot slower. And as you can see, because he did build that 12 hatchery, his drone count is actually slightly lower than our iRk player here, so kind of important. Looks like the Overlord will scout each other. So the second Overlord does get the important scout. Of course, they weren't on cross positions or anything, so that was bound to happen. But the Overlord for Whistler is obviously going to get in the base a lot quicker and get a lot of scouting information. Very, very important for him to do that. Now, I don't know if he actually saw... Did he see the hatchery? He must have done, right? There's no way he'd skip the hatchery. That seems like a crazy play. But here we go. Looks like the spawning pool will be finishing up for both players now. Looks like we do have speed immediately coming up for Whistler, as he will be looking to be a little bit more aggressive. Of course, his hatchery very, very far behind Whistler's there. Behind Z-Lifers even. And we will have a few links moving out on the map. The Overlord is going to be able to spot these, so he will know that this is coming. Very, very important that he does see that there is a little bit of aggression coming out. There's no defense here at the natural at the moment. Of course, another Overlord will pass by each other here. We do have a lot of Lings actually sort of hiding back in the base. By the time they get to leave, the Overlord's actually going to be able to see them. But this is going to be a pretty important moment in the game. Can these Lings get into the main? Looks like there's a very, very complicated dance going on at the moment. Looks like Whistler did decide to try and go for a little bit of a greedy kill. Doesn't quite get the drone. The drone does lose a lot of health though, so he could go back in now. Looks like he's attacking the wrong drone though. A little bit unfortunate, but speed is done for Whistler. It is not quite done yet for Z-Lifer, and this could be the trigger to actually go and attack. Looks like he wasn't really sure what was going to happen. So he's left all of his Lings back in defense. He's done a little bit of damage. He did some mining time damage. And of course he does have... I believe he'll have the drone advantage at this point. Let's just double check. So it's going to be 10 drones in the main, 2 drones in the natural, 1 drone in the natural, and yeah, so 12 drones against 11, I believe I counted. Of course, he is going to scout that there is a superior link count, so he's going to have to be very, very careful. This could be a very, very tense and close battle. He's going to have to pull back. Is he going to make a sunken? It's not going to finish in time anyway. A little bit late for that, but he will be able to push in here with his Lings. Looks like Z-Lifer wants to end this quickly, but he is going to pull back, wait for more of his Lings to come in here, and that's a very, very important decision for him to make. It does, of course, give Whistler the chance to reinforce from his hatcheries, and a really nice concave being set up already for Whistler. Gonna push away Z-Lifer, but of course every 2 Lings could have been a drone. Very, very risky to go full drones, but here we go. It looks like Whistler actually has the Ling advantage now. He's getting on top of the Lings. They're both actually on move command to try and catch up with each other. But here we go. This could be a counterattack and a half as he pushes into the natural expansion. Looks like the position of the concave has been reversed. We are going to see Whistler going for the aggression here. Is he going to be able to break through? No, he's not. So both of them going to have a little bit of a Mexican standoff here. Not really sure exactly what to do. Neither of them can really push in. The position advantage will go to the defender. It is kind of crazy that you do have position advantage with melee units. Looks like he's going to try and lure some of the units away, but does a really, really good job, does Z-Lifer as he pulls back. But here we go. We're going to see the counterattack activated. A lot of dead Lings coming in from both players, but it looks like Z-Lifer just has a little bit too much. The Spire, of course, just finishing up for Z-Lifer. Should be finished up as well for Whistler, but here we go. There's a lot of Lings on the way, and these Scourge going to be looking for Z-Lifer's Mutilus, but not going to be able to get it. But here we go. How is Whistler going to defend against this? He only has a few Muteless and a few Zerglings himself. But this is going to be a lot of damage that Z-Lifer can actually do. Looks like he's miscontrolling just a little bit. Does look like he was a little bit distracted with the... looks like two of the Scourge actually connected. So he was going for a little bit of Muteless micro there, which is why the Lings didn't do as much as they could have done. And Whistler actually using this as an advantage to actually push out. Of course, it is only 2 Muteless against 4, but these are 2 heavily damaged ones. And the Glaives will kill them very, very quickly. But it looks like Z-Lifer just has about enough to push through. But these are heavily, heavily damaged Muteless. But this is 3 high health Muteless against 1. A second one comes in. 2 Scourge pop out. Can they get hits? Yes, they do. Trading very, very, very evenly here. But Whistler, of course, losing a couple of drones early on. He did have the drone advantage before. And there's a lot of Whistler's Overlords still out in the middle, so this could be quite dangerous. But it looks like Whistler gonna try and go in against Z-Lifer here. It's not going to be enough, though. And once again, we see 2 Scourge and 2 Muteless against 3. These are such scrappy engagements. Really, really nicely done. This is a Muteless versus a Muteless. I don't know how this goes, but we do have some Lings moving in onto the drones. Looks like the game of Muta Chicken has been lost by Whistler, as he will pull back. But this Ling going to town on some drones here. Does actually get one of them at least. Looks like he's getting another drone as well. This is such a huge amount of damage. But here we go. Looks like 2 Scourge coming back in again. Does get another one on the Muteless, but oh, this is so good. But unfortunately, neither of them can really engage. It's going to be a case of who shoots who first, I believe. And finally, we see some Scourge coming in for Z-Lifer. Getting one of the... Oh, a nice set of Scourge. So he doesn't go for the Muta. He flies past. A little bit of miss micro could cost him here. But he is going to be able to get the other one, I believe. It looks like he's chasing it down. Interestingly, not wasting both Scourge on the one Muteless. Going to try and kill it. He actually gets it. So really, really nicely done. Whistler accidentally moving a drone over here. Is he going to sunken? Oh my god, he's going to sunken. This is absolutely insane. There's no units on the ground to actually deal with this. Only Muteless do remain, but there's Scourge. There's only 1 Muta for Z-Lifer. This is so good for Whistler, and my god... I don't know what the heck that says, but GG. Z-Lifer gonna lose the 3rd game. And Whistler is gonna keep the hopes of iRk alive in the series. Okay, that was pretty exciting. Like, I can't actually believe he managed to do that, but that was a really, really cool ZVZ. I said it'd be quick. 8 minutes, quickest game today so far. Pretty impressive, actually. But let's actually just head back on over to my face. Let's get ready to start up the next game. I just need to report this one as well before I forget. Really nicely played by Whistler there. Gonna make it a little bit more possible for everything to come back into play. Let me just... check what's going on. Okay, so I know what the next matchup is going to be. It's going to be Kamizerg versus Sugo, so that should be a lot of fun. It's going to be on Neo Moonglaive. Let's actually quickly head on over to the intro once again, just while I get the next replay set up on the overlay, and let's get going with the next game in the series. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you shortly. Okay, so to carry us on, going into the 4th game of this series, as I said before, it's going to be Sugo fighting for NaS, and let me just double check, Kamizerg fighting for iRk. He's going to be fighting for his iRk's win in this series. If he does not win, it's going to be a 3-1 victory for NaS. Their first win in the STPL against arguably statistically, the strongest team in the STPL at the moment as well. So if NaS pull this off, they're going to be pretty happy. We're going to be moving on to Neo Moonglaive. I'm just going to make sure all of the overlay is properly set up, and then we can get going fairly shortly, just to make sure we don't miss anything or anything like that. So just want to make sure everything's set up as it should be and stuff like that. So just give me just a second, and we can get into this fourth game. Okay, so it's going to be these colors. And let's actually head on over to the overlay and have a look at what's going on, who the players are going to be. I know I just introduced them, but let's have a look at their stats, how they're doing so far, and what's to come next. So as you can see, it's going to be for iRk. It's going to be pSi. He has won his first game. Most of iRk have actually won their games, so unsurprising there really. This is the weakest performance I think I've seen from iRk so far, but NaS has put up an incredibly strong performance, actually. So, and over on the other side, we do have his opponent putting in a very strong performance last week, Sugo. Apparently his win hasn't recorded, so I'm going to have to add that in. But he did actually win a very, very long PvP against, I believe it was... I think it was first from White. I can't remember. I need to double check. But I'll make sure that's updated to make sure it's got the correct scores and everything. And their map of choice, or not their map of choice, the map they're going to be playing on is going to be, once again, Neo Moonglaive. It's going to be a ZVP. ZVP 1-2 at the moment in favour of the Protoss, so pretty well going for the Protosses right now. I know White appeared in, as in DM White, appeared in Discord the other day and was like, how on earth are you supposed to ZVP on this map? But, yeah, basically, it's going to be a really, really cool match, so I just had to type something to someone. But he came in like, how on earth are you meant to PvC on this map? But you know what? Protoss are doing a pretty good job. And can Sugo make that gap even bigger? Is DM White going to have egg all over his face from that complaining? Let's find out by moving in to this next game. Okay, hopefully everything should be set up as it should be. Let's move on over to the game screen. And spawning us off in the 5 o'clock position, we do have the yellow Protoss. It's Sugo, fighting for NaS. They are on match point, as I said before. If Sugo does win this game, he will win NaS's first series in this tournament, and that is going to be good to get them on the board. Of course, all is to play for at the moment. Let's actually go to his opponent rather than his overlord. It is going to be the Red Zerg, pSi, fighting for iRk and fighting for his team's life in this series. If pSi can win this, he's going to take it to the ace match. But once again, if Sugo wins, NaS will get their first win. Now, this is very, very important for Sugo. NaS have got a very, very strong lineup. They've not shown just how strong they are so far, but could this finally be the series where they put in a lot of effort, they do a lot of work, and they win? Let's find out. It's going to be an exciting game either way, and hopefully this should be a good CVP. Now, as I did mention, it's all to play for. Every single win does count. Now, at the end of round one is going to be 7 weeks long. Just in case you've not been here when I've explained this before, I really should put this in the thread, so it's a little bit easier to understand. Looks like we'll have a 4-to-us expand, by the way. 7 weeks. There are 7 teams in each group. The top two teams from both groups will be moving on to the playoffs. Now, is Sugo going to go for Nexus first? This is incredibly greedy. He can't go for Nexus first on this map, right? And he's going to get scouted immediately as well. There's been no probe scout. Spawning pool is up as well. Nexus first. What a ballsy play. He feels confident. This is actually unbuildable if I remember rightly. But either way, going to be playoffs. There's going to be best of 3s of best of 5s for the playoffs. And then the finals of round 1 will be a best of 7 per team, or with the 2 finalists. So that should be a lot of fun. That'll give the other teams a little bit of a rest in between the next weeks. There'll be a little bit of a break after that of about 1 to 2 weeks, just to give me a little bit of a rest. And this is going to be a very, very quick game. Either this is going to work, or it's going to fail. But he's pulling the boys. He is not going to build this hatchery, I don't believe. It almost feels like a waste. He's going to add lings. He is going to try and push in before the first cannon is done. Sugo is going to try and get a gateway up. Is he going to get the probes in time? He's pulled another probe. Is that going to be enough? He needs to get this cannon up. If he can keep the cannon up, he wins this game. Arguably, he needs to pull more of his probes. It looks like the cannon's going to finish, though. This is so huge if he can keep this cannon alive. I didn't realize this was going to be such a quick game. But either way, one of these players is going to lose. The probes take out 2 of the drones, 3 of the drones, before the cannon is done. And the drone's actually blocking the lings from going in on the cannon. This is huge. The Nexus is finished. Such a fantastic defense by Sugo. He loses the cannon. He is not mining, but he holds. He's killed so many drones. He's killed a good number of lings as well. And he can just mine from his natural base now. The lings are going to try and move in, do some more damage. An incredibly ballsy play by pSi does not work out. Another cannon finishes. Gonna take out both of the lings, actually. They could have got in the main, but they turned around at the last second. And Sugo looks like he's held pSi on so few drones. He's got 4 in his main, a 5th one on the way. He's going to try and go into a second hatchery. But this is going to be a fight he is not going to be able to lose. A probe going to scout that there's more lings on the way, but there's going to be a second cannon shortly. And all Sugo has to do is hold on here. This is his moment to win the game for NaS. If he can hold on, there's only 7 drones in the main. Obviously, the natural hatchery is not finished, and this probe is going to see absolutely everything. He knows he was all in. You can see he's pulled all of his probes from his natural already. He's getting the second cannon. If he holds on to this, he'll be able to win the game, and there is absolutely nothing pSi can do to break him. I'm not sure what made him go for this strategy. Maybe he tried to prepare it. Maybe he thought he won't get a wall. Of course, he did react to the Nexus first as well. But Sugo did an incredible job of actually holding that. Looks like the probe actually went down, so that was a bit of a mistake from Sugo there. But the Overlord going to try and soak some of the cannon shots, but the Zerglings cannot move in. pSi is going to try and play standard from here. He's going into a third hatchery at his third base. But this is not going to be good for him. Of course, Sugo did lose a lot of mining time as well. Both their supplies deceptively low, but of course the advantage does go to our Protoss player here. It looks like pSi just searching around for any proxies or anything like that. He's already so far behind, he just wants to make sure he doesn't get caught out by anything. And it looks like he's going to try and full drone off of all his bases. Of course, the one benefit of doing this build is Sugo's Zealots are incredibly late, and he has no other tech. So even though that was an incredible hold, it looks like pSi may be able to bring this back. It's going to be very, very difficult. But pSi is not going to give up easily. It looks like he's going to send out, or Sugo's going to send out another probe. Gonna find these links, maybe. No, it looks like he is going to skip that. Gonna go straight for the natural. Wants to see what defense is there, wants to see what tech is on the way. Which, as you can see, isn't actually very much. There's not really too much coming on for the Protoss player as well, though the Overlord going to see this. And it looks like, here we go, the probe is coming in. What is he going to see? Probably not too much. Looks like the hatchery has actually just finished there. And he's going to see that, basically, he's against full drones. And he is going to see the lair, most likely. Let's actually see if he does see that. Yes, he will. So that's an important scout as well. But I think Sugo is just going to be able to get enough Zealots and actually just go and push. Kami has had to play incredibly greedy to try and come back into this. And unfortunately for him, I don't think it's going to work. Sugo even going to scout the third base. Him seeing this is going to be such an important moment. He is going to know, you are not going to have that many Zerglings, my opponent. He is going to push immediately with 3 Zerglings. And gonna see what he can do. This is such a strong fighting force. Early game against the Zerg, who has built nothing but drones. What are you going to do as a response to this pSi? Are you going to try and add a Sunken? You're now nearly even on supply. You're going to be at least even on workers against the Protoss player. But is it going to be enough? Are you going to be able to bring this back late game? Your early gambit did not pay off. As I sort of predicted, Sugo is just going to build up a lot of zealots, going to get his +1. Probably going to see another gateway added here. Yep, we're going to see another one as well, probably very, very shortly. And here we go, 5 zealots are on the way. They're going to move straight across the map. There is a lot of lings at the moment, but they do not have speed. Probe is going to find those and go down immediately as well, so he knows exactly where not to go with the zealots. Looks like he's going to try and push in. Is he going to go for the ramp, or is he going to go for the big ramp? Of course, one thing you may not have seen on this map is that, I'll just show it off while there's a lull, there is a small ramp and a big ramp down into where the natural is. So Sugo could actually abuse that pretty well with the zealots, but it looks like he's going to fall back, going to try and reinforce, wait for his +1. We do have a sunken colony coming on the way with a 4th hatchery. Spire coming up as well, so 4 hatchery Spire, sunken colony in the 3rd base as well. And Kamizerg has somehow seemed to stabilize. He's going to try and go in with speedlings. I don't think it's going to do too much, but I think he's going to try and dive past the wall. And if he does get in the main, that could be massive. We do have 3 gateways up in the main. Citadel of Noon, Zealot Legs finishing up soon as well with a Stargate. And I think this is going to be the moment when he gets the next 3 Zealots out of his gateways to probably try and push in against this, but he does need to make sure that he doesn't die to anything stupid, that he doesn't let the things into his base. Looks like he's not going to leave any Zealots back, he's going to move them all the way around. Going to scout the Spire, very, very important scout. Going to pull back immediately, knowing that's exactly what he's got to deal with. But this is quite dangerous. If Kamizerg knew about this, he could actually push directly into the natural, and there wouldn't really be that much that Sugo could do, but it looks like Sugo is returning the favor. He is going to go into the Zerg's natural. It's going to be a long, long way back for the Zerglings. Looks like he's going to pull the drones to try and defend the Sunkens. Gonna pull the Zerglings back as well, not going for that counter-attack like I thought he may do. He's going to try and hold on. He's not really lost that many drones. Really, really nice hold so far. And this game could still actually continue on for quite a while. It looks like the Zealots are going to get cleaned up. +1 was not finished. Oh, +1 did actually just finish. So he did have +1 for the end of that engagement. Not quite at the beginning though, I don't believe. And it looks like we do have more Zealots on the way. There are nice walls actually up. This is a really, really nice SimCity over here at the 3rd base. Going to be able to drone up well as well. Maybe Protoss aren't as weak as I thought they were after losing so many drones at the beginning of the game. But, of course, Sugo did lose a lot of mining time to try and defend against that. So, looks like this game is going to go on for a little bit longer. My nasally voice is slowly going to get worse and worse, but that's all okay. Looks like I'm actually starting to lose my voice as well. Getting well, I think I'm nearly 2.5 hours in to a couple of best of 5s. And solo casting is quite grating on your voice, but it's still a pleasure to be able to bring this to you guys. Now, if you haven't been able to notice in the chat, there has been a Maturino spam. If you do use that code, I think I still have like 30 left of them. Use them up as quick as you can. Just put the code in. You don't need to pay anything. It's perfectly free. You don't need to put any personal info in either. You can just donate a free $1, so $1 with no cost to the prize pool, and that will all go to the teams at the end of the tournament. It looks like some of the Zuds getting caught up on each other. But, I mean, Kamizerg has done a very, very good job to try and stabilize in this position. He was so far behind, adding on a 6th hatchery, moving out with some Scourge, going to try and catch the Corsairs, which are, oops, I've somehow lost control of my mouse there. But going to be able to take control of the skies with the Scourge. Going to try and take this 3rd base. Looks like Sugo wants to take this to a macro game. He doesn't want to really do too much. He is, of course, only really going into Corsair Zealot right now. We do have Storm on the way. We have an extra gateway. We should have another gateway coming up. Interestingly, using two probes to actually build those. But we do have the first High Templar out. He should actually be able to snipe these with the Muteless. The Scourge, of course, gonna scout for the other base. He does have an Overlord here and an Overlord down here just to check for this natural. But Kamizerg doing a really, really, really good job right now. Just trying to carry on. He did not make the same mistake Haxter did. He went for the Lurkers immediately, going for Overlord speed, Overlisk. That's a StarCraft 2 unit, like him, the campaign probably. But he's going for Overlord speed just to make sure he's a little bit more protected against the Corsairs. Scourge still trying to do what they're doing. No plus. Oh, we do have +1 air. Oh no, that's range. Nice actual engagement there for the Scourge, getting one of the one of the things, but I mean, Sugo has almost missed a trick here. This could be the moment. Oh, here we go. He's actually killing the pylon. I was like, what on earth is he killing? But he's going to try and get his Dragoons out of his base. Here we go. Looks like kamiZerg, though, going to be trying to set up for an attack from the side. Of course, if you have just tuned in, this is the 4th match of the series. So if Sugo can win this, he will be taking home the bacon. But if kamiZerg can win this as well, he will be heading on over to the ace match. But considering the start of this game, if you didn't see the start and you've just tuned in, I would highly recommend checking the VOD after the cast, just to see how crazy it was early on. But here we go. Looks like we actually have the Zerg player being aggressive now. How on earth is this happening? Oh my god, Sugo may even lose the High Templar here. Just about managing to save them, but I mean, kamiZerg's macro is just absolutely insane right now. He has so many drones at each of his bases. He should actually be looking to take another base very, very soon as well. But kind of interesting that he hasn't yet, but maybe he's not really too sure how back into the game he is. Looks like he's going to go for a big Hydralisk bust rather than trying to expand again. Kind of would like to see a 4th base coming up for him, though, because he's in a pretty good position. We do have a second, I believe that's the second evolution chamber actually. So he's going to be able to go into double upgrades. +1 should be finishing soon. The anti-timing on this push though, he needs to wait for +1. And that's a huge storm. Really, really nice storm there. By Sugo, looks like the cannon's killing yet another building. Just so his Dragoons can actually get out of his base. I always find that really funny how that happens, but here we go. Is there any storm over here? No, there isn't. This could actually be a very, very big moment in this game. He's going to push into the 3rd base of Sugo. Is Sugo going to be able to hold on? This is going to be huge. Zealot's getting immediately annihilated by the Lurkers. And this is a very, very strong push into the 3rd base. How on earth is Sugo going to be able to hold on here? Really, really nice storms, though. Look at how much blood there is on the ground. Such good storms once again. And Sugo looks like he's going to try and take control of his natural and of his main. Looks like we have some Hydralisks moving in as well at the bottom. They did take out a cannon, but the main, obviously, focus is here on the 3rd base. A very, very nice storm again, though. There's no cannons here. He cannot detect the Lurkers. This is a pretty big moment. He does, of course, have 1 storm, but these Lurkers are very, very well spread. And this 3rd base looks like it could actually go down. This could be very, very huge. Oh my god, the High Templar may actually go down. There we go, a nice storm. Actually storms their own Corsairs, so that was a bit of a mistake. But does manage to do a lot of damage to the egg. There's nothing to finish off. There is an Observer here now, though. Some of the High Templar getting sniped. kamiZerg doing a really, really good job on this engagement. Units coming in from all sides of the map as he carries on to try and push his way through here. There's no overlords. He cannot save his Lurkers right now. The Hydra's going to try and move in, going to try and snipe down the Dragoons that are trying to do their best to hold on, but 1-1 upgrades against the 1-0 of the Hydras. Finally, we do have some cannons in play, though. And this Nexus, against all odds, is still alive. Trying to get that down as soon as he possibly can. No 4th base, so this is do or die now for kamiZerg, as he is not planning to expand again. Sugo is gonna lose his Nexus. This is pretty huge, but of course that does just leave him with less space to defend. Now, do we have a drone going anywhere on the map? Looks like a few of the looks like there was a drone sent to maybe go and mine a mineral to get another base, but unfortunately doesn't actually manage to do that. Looks like we do have the Dragoons moving in to try and do a little bit more damage to this Hydra's army. There is still, of course, no overlords over here. And Dragoon range is pretty insane, but here we go, Zealots moving in. Is there too many Dragoons, or is there enough Hydras to hold on? More Lurkers coming in as well. And this is such a tense battle. This battle has been going on for about 3 or 4 minutes now over this 3rd base location. But Sugo doing a really, really good job pulling the Zerg away from the Lurkers. But here we go, 2 Overlords coming in. Is he going to be able to snipe this Observer? This is going to be huge if he does. Does get one of them. The other one is safe, though. Once again, we see the Zerg player just still trying to push in. More Scourge on the way. 4th base finally is coming up. Interestingly, expanding towards the Protoss. Feeling very, very, very ballsy again. Once again, like I would expect to see the 4th gas be taken over in the 9 o'clock position. The Corsair is going to go down as well. This is a huge pickoff for kamiZerg. And this is looking really, really good for him at the moment. But it's not over yet, of course. kamiZerg came with an incredible comeback to get to this position. Can Sugo do exactly the same thing? Not really sure, but let's actually find out. Looks like he's going to try and add on some more pylons. Looks like we're going to have another push in. We do have a lot of storms. Really nice storm on the lurkers. Is it going to be enough though? Finally taking them out. And slowly but surely the units are being dwindled down. But look at this. So many units streaming across the map. What incredible macro by kMSerg. Can Sugo hold on? Can he hold the line? Or is Protoss going to lose Shakuras to the Zerg as well? And that was so cheesy, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna secure his third base location. The units coming in are not enough yet. And using this Dragoon to actually work out the position of the lurkers, maybe? No, okay. I thought he was going to do something really cool with Storm, but it looks like he just sacrificed the lurker due to bad pathing. Here we go. It looks like Sugo has held on for now. He's going to push out. The fourth base is going to be incredibly, incredibly dangerous location for kMSerg. If this is scouted, which it probably will be. And Sugo, against all odds, is holding. He's held his third. He didn't lose too many probes. He's actually 50 supply ahead. And slowly but surely, our Protoss player is coming back into this game. And I never thought I'd actually be saying that, given the fact he was so far ahead before. But here we go. It looks like the Protoss player has had enough. He does not want to deal with your constant lurker laying Hydra pressure. It's my turn to push out on the map, says Sugo. As he moves out, snipes 2 of the lurker eggs. Really, really nice pick off by him. And does he have enough to actually break through this Zerg army? Is this going to be the end of the game? It looks like he hasn't scouted, or he's scouted the base now with a Corsair. This is a very big, important moment. Looks like he's going to send an Archon up there with his army just to finish this off. And kame gonna try and hold on to the middle of the map. He's going to lose his fourth base, so his main is nearly mined out. His third and mineral only, or third and natural, going to be pretty healthy. He did have a very few drones for a very, very long time. But here we go, this fourth base is going to be forfeit. There's nothing he can do to defend this. Trying to add creep colonies. Better to cancel those, actually. They're not going to be able to go into Sunkens. And doesn't cancel them in time, but here we go. Looks like kMSerg may be going in for a counterattack. I'm not sure if it's going to work, though. The fourth base is going down. We have a drone going down to take another fourth base, but I mean, Sugo showing an incredible showing here on PVZ on this map. Hopefully White is watching this game and he's taking some notes, because he did say it was impossible to PVZ on this map, so hopefully Sugo is showing you exactly what you need to do. Hold the crazy all in and then just go all in from there. But here we go, as you can see, units coming in from both sides. He's going to go for the surround. They're a little bit far away though, and this is going to be a very difficult engagement for him to take now. The lurkers are going to go down at the front. The units coming in from the back as well. Is it going to be enough? It's very, very hard to keep an eye on both of these sides of the battle. I'm going to zoom out slightly. You know what? I don't actually like that. Let's zoom back in. But this Protoss army is just too strong. 2-1 upgrades. All of the Zerg units are dying 1-1 for the lurkers. They're going to try and retreat. But how is he going to hold on? An Ice Storm does go down on all of the lurkers there. And slowly but surely, kMSerg's army has been completely annihilated. Does manage to get a nice 10+ snipe. Really, really nice target firing. But 3 Mutalisks against all of these Dragoons are not going to be enough. There's an Archon here as well. A Hydra coming in, trying to rally into here, but the unit's just dying immediately. And it looks like Sugo is going to march his way to NaS's first victory of the tournament. And really, really well played by Sugo. He did a really good job to hold that all in. kMSerg, of course, fought really hard to bring it back. But unfortunately, a miss fourth did really, really hurt him. He couldn't get the macro up he needed to deal with the 3-base Protoss. Lovely storms going down on the lurkers. He's still busting through with just Dragoons, a few Zealots and an Archon. And of course a couple of storms. And kMSerg trying to hold on. It's not going to be enough. But still, very, very valiant effort from him. Really, really nicely done. And GG. kMSerg loses the fourth and final game of this series, and Sugo is going to take the win for NaS. NaS are going to be incredibly happy about that. I'm incredibly happy for them, in fact, because they have, of course, had a bit of a rough start. They did go 0-2 down, but really, really well played by Sugo. Really nice try by kMSerg to try and come back in. Thank you, thank you very much, Faust. Let's actually just report the win. Let's head on over to the results screen. I'll bring that up for you, just so you can see the result of the matches today, or at least in this series. Let's bring up psychoanalysis again. Now you know what? Let's actually play Space Aliens like a heavy Space Aliens like Heavy Metal 2. Imagine that as a as a name for a song. But here we go. Let's go on over to the overlay. As you can see, we started off with Ember versus Dragon. Dragon winning the first game. Kingdom taking a win over Caxter. Really, both good games, worth watching. Whistler versus Z-Lifer, a pretty cool ZVZ, kind of crazy actually. And finally, Sugo takes the win for NaS. They're going to be +1 wins in the tournament in their group. And iRk are going to go 2-2-1. So it's going to be 1-2 for NaS, 2-1 for iRk, with many matches of Week 3 still to go. 2 games of Group B and 2 games of Group A. And those are the following. We are going to have SK Bravo versus DM. That's going to be tomorrow at 9 o'clock Central European time, European Savings Time. Same with Rev versus Foreign Brew War Discord. Going to be a lot of fun. Moving on to Friday, they're going to be the final games of Week 3. And then next week we're going to be moving on to Week 4. But for Group A, we're going to see Net Wars versus Team Liquid. And finally, we are going to see Ash versus Soul Gaming. That's also going to be on Friday to round out the week and take us into the weekend. Of course, that is not going to be it for Brood War this week. Of course, SDPL will be back the following Monday. I know I have TBC, but I'm not sure if they're going to be the first games they're going to be casting. And wow, I am losing my voice right now. But the Brood War fun just begins Friday. You also have the Red Clan Cup. That's going to be a lot of fun. Saturday, you'll be moving in to Zero's Bombastic Star League. That's going to be a lot of fun. We should actually have the second or first cast, I believe, of the Coach Pupil League. And I'm going to update the Red versus TL lineups after this. As soon as I turn off the thing, I'm going to post them. I've got both of them through now, which is good. For any Cadenti fans, she is going to be playing in the first game next week, so that's a lot of fun. Both the lineups have been sort of submitted, so no one can change. And then on Sunday, no Havatyu this week, but there may be the People's Swan Bang. I'm not too sure about that. But if not, it may be a little bit of a Sunday off. But of course, ASL is back this Sunday, so do not miss it. It's going to be... It starts at 11 AM my time. I'm not sure what time that is KST. But as I've said before, there's a lot of tournaments going on at Brood War, both at the pro level and the foreigner and amateur level. So please do everything you can to support all of the streamers who are working very, very hard. And I'm not talking about myself here. I'm talking about people like Zero, people like Sham2, people like Lametta. I think I got his name right this time. People like pSi, who's organised the whole Coach Pupil League. People like Warrior, who is doing the Red Clan Cup and has done for a very long time. People like Gecko and Face, who do the Brood War Clan League. That is coming to an end soon. I think the finals are this weekend at some point, actually. So do tune into those. And I will be back Monday this time. No Sunday cast for me. So, I'll be back tomorrow, first of all. I'll be back tomorrow for more STPL action. Please do tune in. If you did like the stream, please do follow me just to support the channel. Please, of course, do follow the other people I mentioned as well. And any players that do stream their games, really important that you do the best you can for the foreign Brood War scene. And I will be back tomorrow. Thank you once again for tuning in. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me actually just bring up my camera just to say a firm farewell, I guess. I'll give you a wave and a bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. Have a good evening, guys.